Oops, all splashes.
You swashbuckled. Whoops. Whoopsie.
Oopsies.
All right, we're going live now.
Great. Let's.
Oh, look at that. It says my name up there.
See, what you need to do is have an overlay to the other side is unregistered hypercam too. We're still sharing audio on the stream side.
No, I know, I don't understand that, but here we go. All right. Hello and welcome to the very first extra special edition of our first ever and only ever Pathfinder 2nd edition show on the Inspired Distractions channel. This has been a long time coming, a big project that I've had in my brain for a while, and I finally have the lovely people to traumatize with it. So hello chat, hello to our wonderful audience, and hopefully this is just the humble beginning of a very long and very fun saga that I hope to tell with all these lovely people here. So this is, as I said, an incredible journey. Friends, foes, lovers, or maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here. Too soon? In any case, without further ado, let's peer beyond the veil. And let's meet the cast that will help us make this story come to life, okay? So, first and foremost, I'm going to introduce one of my longest-running partners in crime, and he's sitting to the left of me here in stream. That man is Ryan. Now, Ryan and I have been friends over a very great many years now, and reconnected over COVID, where, you know, a lot of us fell out of touch. Ryan reached out, made the connection, and dragged me kicking and screaming into his D&D 5e game, and I have been addicted to tabletop ever since. So if anyone's looking for where the gene seed was planted, it was with him. So I can't imagine making a project of this magnitude without him, and he's involved me in many of his own. And Ryan, why don't you introduce yourself to, again, because you've already done it on Hunters, but for this show.
So my name is Ryan. I'm one of the founders for Inspired Distractions. You'll see me a lot on the player side, and on the back end side. I have played 5e and other tabletop games for a couple years now, and have really jumped headfirst into it. And as much as I have dragged Matt kicking and screaming into things, he has dragged me kicking and screaming into plastic crack of Warhammer. So I think it's fair. So I'm glad to be here. I'm happy to both see some characters live and put some in a hole. It's fine.
Absolutely. And for everyone in chat and in our lovely audience who did not know, we are starting this campaign off with character creation by attrition. So all of my lovely cast members tonight have prepared a great deal of different characters that we are going to be, destroying until we see what's left. So, as I move on, and I could be remiss without mentioning this, because second, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention the love of my life and lovely fiancé, Carling. And the only reason you are being mentioned second is so that I might stand a shade of a chance at escaping any accusations of bias. Don't worry, we tend to be able to pick on the ones we love the most because we know that they understand our sense of humor. But I have been so lucky that it's so rare that you both share a passion for similar hobbies and interests. And I introduced Carling to tabletops during COVID as well. And, you dip a toe, you try some things, and then she just knocked it out of the park every time I bring her out to play. Like, she has the best character ideas and has some excellent comedic timing. So when I wanted to start this project, I knew I had to involve her in some shape or form. And so if you want to, introduce yourself a little bit more. I know you did it again on Monday in our Hunters crew, but I would absolutely love for you to tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, my name's Carling. You can also call me Carl. Um, I am engaged to Matt, and he introduced me to the world of TTRPGs, and I've just been having a lot of fun with it. You can also see me on the Hunter stream on Mondays, and I'll also be doing some little, crafty, chill kind of streams on the channel as well. And yeah, just excited to be here.
Excellent. All right. Third up in our list here is the all-powerful, anthropologically talented, and incredibly elusive Alex. I met him it's got to be about 5 years ago now, back in 2019, through the 29th Infantry Division gaming community. And I got to say, he is the most effective, gronky, and eccentric member of our shared group. And he is a joy to play with, and we've kind of just been continually involving each other in each other's projects because we have such a mutual respect and love of each other's created worlds. And I knew that when I was building this, that this would be an IP that he'd be incredibly interested in and a valuable asset to, and reached out and said, hey, why don't we do one more thing? And he said, oh, hell yeah, brother. So Alex, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the stream, as this is kind of your debut for the channel and, the show.
I think so. I think that's true. First off, I think "Hell yeah, brother" is a direct quote. That sounds about right. Hello, my name is Alex. I am indeed excited to be part of this show. I've been in all sorts of kind of tabletop games and all that sort of stuff, well, since high school, and I'm past 30 now, so it's been a while at this point. And so, as he said, I've been in with a lot of things with Matt there, and we've shared many loves of games and all that sort of stuff since we first met. And man, how can I say no? I get to play all sorts of weird little creatures and make all sorts of weird little noises. What's not to love, right? So here we are.
I hope to make you make a great deal of strange noises, and that goes for the whole cast. The whole gamut of emotion, I hope, will be on display. And fourth, and this is I consider him my good friend now, Brian. We've only met recently through a mutual, but it did not take him less than half of a quick one-shot that I played with him to realize his value as a player. Not only does he have a deep knowledge of Pathfinder, he's a great collaborator and a great yes-ander, and I'm just truly happy to have him on the project along for the ride and part of the party. So I'm looking forward to so many more incredible moments and to see what more you can do. So why don't you go and introduce yourself to our lovely audience there, Brian, as this is both your channel debut and stream debut.
Exactly. So thank you for having me here, guys. Hello to everybody. And yeah, I'm Brian. I'm the crazy guy from another place, really far away from everybody else, I think. And let's be crazy about it with this Pathfinder thingy.
Yeah, I think actually, Brian, your inclusion does make us a Pan-American stream, because we have representation from North and South America now. And yeah, there we go. We're trying to build as inclusive a group as we could, because you know what? We want to have a diverse kind of experience with what we're about to engage with, because we're going to play with a lot of different themes on this show. Now, last and certainly not least is our wonderfully creative and funny friend, Adam. Adam is someone that I've met through work about a year ago now, and we've become fast friends and a constant inclusion in most of my tabletop games. However, he couldn't be here tonight due to some real-life prior engagements, so he's treading another path. Don't worry, he's still participating. His pool of characters will be affected by tonight's events, and I look forward to having him the next time we all can walk together. So, without further ado, I just want to say thank you to our lovely audience. We've got a great amount of chat engagement already, and I look forward to seeing all your reactions to what I do to these fine folk tonight. And let's just go through really quickly. I have shared some lore, shared some first impressions with my cast about how this game's going to be a little bit different than your standard kind of Pathfinder 2nd Edition game. Why don't we just go around real quick, and I want kind of get everybody's kind of quick Cole's Notes summary of how this game is going to feel and look to them, because I'm very excited to know what the first impressions have been so far. We've done a couple of behind-the-scenes session zeros, and they have a little bit more information than the rest of y'all, although I have been quite enthusiastic in sharing any detail to anybody who will listen to me gabber on about the world I built. So, why don't we just go round? Let's start with Ryan. Ryan, what can people expect from this campaign based on your impressions so far?
Anyone who's played a game with me in the past knows for a fact that I love one thing. That's combat. I am not a huge RP intensive person. I do, and I've gotten real better at it. But my brain really crunches down on, does that 32 hit? Can I block that 45? And Pathfinder does that in spades. I have gone down more in 3 sessions of Pathfinder than I have in campaigns of 5e. I'm very excited.
Yeah, Pathfinder really does build in that kind of sense of urgency and direness of combat, which I do really love about the system. It is a very well balanced system that I've gone out of my way to break for these first couple sessions. But nonetheless, I love that from you. So let's go to Carling next. Carling, what do you, based on your impressions so far, what do you think we can expect from this campaign in terms of like tone and how it's going to play out?
Well, you've created a very rich world, I would say. There's going to be lots to explore. Ryan mentioned the combat. I'm sure there's going to be tons of that, and that is lots of fun in Pathfinder. But one of my favorite things about this game, and TTRPGs in general, is just the shenanigans. Just kind of poking stuff, seeing what blows up, that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm just excited to explore this world that you've created and solve some mysteries.
Absolutely. And that is a great thing that you brought up the mystery, because that will be a central tenet of the story once we get there. So keep tuning into the prologues if you want a hint of that. Okay, working our way down the list here. Brian, based off what you know, how do you think this is going to go?
It's gonna be brutal, it's gonna be interesting, it's gonna be funny, and it's gonna be crazy, guys. Fucking crazy. So...
Oh yeah. It's not gonna
brace
be...
yourselves.
I'm hoping that I've built something where you can't expect what happens next, but you're gonna be here for it. And last, and certainly not least, Alex, what are your first impressions based off what you know?
Oh, well, I am, in fact, an anthropologist. That's what my degree's in, and that's one of my great passions. Not my only one, by far, but certainly one of the bigger ones. And so getting into the world, that's my thing. I run a lot of games myself, and when I do, I really pour myself into the world. And now I get a vessel already made that I get to pour myself into, which is going to be really exciting. And so I'm excited to explore all that sort of stuff. You get to see all the stuff that Matt's gone ahead and made, which, let me tell you, it's pretty neat. And I'm going to have a fun time kind of throwing myself in there, being gronky and weird throughout it, but still fitting into that world that he's, frankly, pretty masterfully created. So I'm excited.
Oh, well, it's high praise coming from you, and I appreciate that. And I can't, for one, wait to see what gronky creations you make that somehow manage to mesh perfectly with the intention behind the societies that spawned them. And as for me, to give you all a sense of what's coming, I want to let you all know that we're kind of have a tonality of dark academia, a tonality of mystery, of darkness. We're going to engage some heavier themes. That does not mean that there's no room for comedy, and I hope that we do get our laughs in, but just so that everyone is aware, if you are under 18 years old and listening to this stream, I recommend your parents do a better job, because you should not be. We are going to be engaging with some more mature themes. I cannot censor myself worth a goddamn, so there might be some words that you learn that are new, if you do not already know them. And if you have access to the internet, well, you've probably already have, and you can disregard this disclaimer for all intents and purposes. As well, I want to thank Foundry VTT, the fact that they have come up with a fair pricing model for what they provide to us. The Forge for making a very seamless and easy hosting experience for someone as IT inclined as I am, and Streamlabs for providing our overlays, and as well, I want to give very, very special thanks. A lot of the assets that you will see in this campaign, including tonight, are created by Tom Kartos. He's got a Patreon, and I am doing my due diligence in mentioning him here. He's got a very fair pricing scheme, and he works well with creators. So I gotta really shout that out, because as much as I love to create, it would be a lot of work to do all of this from the ground up before every show. So without further ado, let's launch into things a bit, shall we? So before we go to our VTT and just get smack dab into the process of grinding ourselves down into a playable party, let me set the scene for you. So, for those of you who are familiar with Pathfinder 2nd Edition, you will notice a lot of things that are going to seem like, oh yeah, that's very similar to vanilla. Please note that this is a home-brewed setting, so there will be certain things that will perform differently, and this goes for my players as well. If you have prior knowledge, maybe you have Archives of Nethys cannily pulled up on another monitor, I'm going to say that, well, a lot of it is going to be adapted or very similar. There will be some differences just based on what I've created. Mechanically, you will know ahead of time if it's relevant. Otherwise, please do roll those knowledge checks when you can. We're also going to be making use of GM blind rolls, which means that for rolls where the characters would not necessarily get to know if they've succeeded, say, for example, if I'm deceiving you, I'm not going to know the degree of success of which I'm having. I'm going to roll that and tell the players the results, and they're going to interpret based on what happens next, whether or not that was a success, failure, what have you. Additionally, we're going to play a little bit with the hero token balancing. Hero tokens, typically in a Pathfinder 2nd Edition game, will be awarded at the beginning of each session, as well as for really cool moments, and they will allow you to re-roll certain rolls, which can be critical, especially when you're dying, to kind of up the, shall we say, survival horror of it all. I have limited the amount of hero tokens. I will be awarding them for excellent roleplay, making me laugh, making me cry. I don't know. We're going to vibe with it and see where we end up on a balance. And because I tend to be overly generous anyways, it might just work out in their favor. Might not, though. We'll have to see. And lastly, a lot of things will be similar. In fact, this world that I've built exists within the same universe as Golarion, which is to say that the deities are going to be, for the most part, the same. The way in which people worship them and the plans they have for this part of the material plane may differ. But in character and content, they're going to be very similar to what you might be familiar with out of Pathfinder. So, let me describe a little bit of the world we're getting ourselves into. The players themselves have had this speech a few times now in various ways, but for my lovely listening audience, I want to give you a bit of a sense of where we are at. So, the world of O'Shea exists in the same material plane as Golarion. It's part of the universe, but it circles a different star. It's many, many, many years away in a different, a long, long time ago in a galaxy, maybe not so far away, but still functionally at the other end of the universe for people of the time. That being said, it's an old world. There's a lot of history there, and it has suffered and gone through many, many epochs in its history, many catastrophes, cataclysms, apocalypses, and it's getting on in age. In fact, the waters on O'Shea have risen to the point where it is essentially an giant archipelago or network of islands and near continental-sized land masses, but everything has been shrunk down. Lots of history and civilizations have been buried under the water in the volcanic rock of an apocalypse that the historians of the area call the inundation. As a period in time. There is a before inundation and an after inundation, a BI and a CI, if you will, current era that we kind of operate on for our timelines today. Since then, there have been many nations that formed. Of those nations, they fought and they kind of coalesced until now in the current era, we have many empires that have grown out of this because for one reason or another, be it scarcity, be it ideology, be it age-old blood feud, time has passed and things have coalesced, much like they have in our own world today. In fact, if I was to draw a direct parallel for people to be able to tell the technological era and kind of cultural era that we reside in, I would say that the closest analogy to our real world, if you want to get a sense of things, would be the early 20th century. Think your 1900s to 1920s era. We're taking a more kind of steampunk, low fantasy vibe with the technology, and that's going to be explained as you all kind of progress through the world, progress through these societies. I don't want to give away too much because that would just be too much exposition, and I really want us to kind of engage with everything as we discover it. But all you must know that for tonight, where we join the players, where we join the world together, is in the last battle of, shall we say, the World War I analog for this setting is taking place. There's a small island chain of islands, not unlike, say, Midway and the small Pacific islands of the Pacific theater of World War II that are being fought over by these very, resource-strapped alliances because they're a new landmass that has recently formed in the middle of these archipelagos. And we do have a world map coming that at some point will be able to better visualize this. But this is a conflict that is known by all in the timeline of the campaign as the Cataclysm. Such was its impact on the world. All these different empires have kind of coalesced and formed different alliances, much like in World War I, that kind of dominoed into this being an all-encompassing total war that the world had not yet seen before. And that took place between two factions known as the Auric Ascendancy, which is comprised of the Celestian Conclave, a very kind of Prussian and Ming China inspired kind of mixed together mishmash of the elves, the Goran, the Kitsune, the gnomes, and the catfolk. You have on the other side this lovely coalition of the Commonwealth, which is a coalition of free independent city-states that have formed together their own kind of Holy Roman Empire reminiscent democracy, which is comprised of the human city-states, some rat-folk city-states, the Shunian Rough, where the Shuni reside, and all the diverse kind of people, like the halflings as well, that are coming together in this kind of commonwealth, reminiscent almost of like Poland, Lithuania, or a kind of France of the Belle Epoque era, which would be the 19th century in terms of like a style guide. And that's where we're going to actually focus in on tonight, is that Auric Ascendancy of those two factions. I've asked each of our lovely players to design for me 5 characters who might find themselves at the front lines of this combat tonight. And of these 5 characters each, they're going to play them one at a time in succession. And if they die, they will go to the next one. If they don't die, they will continue playing until we either run out of characters or we make our way through this portion of the story. If we manage to survive with multiple characters, they will then be able to select which of those will become their main character for the rest of the campaign. Stay tuned as well, because we're not just doing one prologue session. They're actually going to play for the Opposites faction as well, the Iron Sky Conclave in another episode, and then finally the Unaligned Rogue Fleet, to finally kind of give them a chance to play for each side in this conflict, give them a chance to create a variety of characters with meaningful connections to the world and each other, and then we'll launch into the campaign and the mystery that we will end the prologue on. So everybody will have a direct tie to the story. But without further ado, let's zoom in on the scene. So, we have, like I said, our conscripted characters. And they arrive by boatload as replacements to the front line. None of these people are experienced soldiers. None of these people are... Everyone has a different motivation for joining up that we will possibly touch on. And they've been sent to the front lines as replacements in the last fight, as attrition is taking its toll on everyone in this combat. This is as I mentioned before, the final battle of the Cataclysm, taking place on the Lotoboros Islands, or the Lotus Ouroboros Islands, depending on your dialect, whatever language your character might speak. And the Commonwealth and the Celestian Conclave have arrived first. So they have set up defenses. Defenses entrenched themselves on the beach, created garrisons farther inland. There's not a lot of cover. They're not big land masses. And they have been instructed to hold to the last because everyone can see the writing on the wall. The war has to end, and the biggest pool of resources and manpower has been around these islands. Naturally, as this being a waterborne world for the most part, big navies have made their appearance here. And it's up to these poor souls who've arrived on this island, who are now cut off from reinforcement, to hold it. And we are going to join them at the garrison. And I'm going to ask each of my players, because right now all your tokens are on the screen, go around really quickly and tell me who you are playing, what they look like, and maybe a couple sentences about them. Don't go too far in depth, right? Because they are disposable until further notice.
Okay.
Let's start with Ryan. You opened your mouth first, so why don't we start with you?
That's what I get. So I'm going to start off with Spotter. Spotter is a ratfolk investigator. He was a crow's nest. He was a crow's nest man for the rogue fleet, or for some of the fleets. Not for the rogue, for the other guys. He is short. He has got a gray body, black beady eyes, and he's a rat sailor. Very simple.
I love it. In fact, it makes sense. You got a smaller creature. You don't need as much real estate in the crow's nest. It's a little bit more spacious, accommodating, and with those really sharp senses and ability to climb, I'm sure that that's all playing right into Spotter's wheelhouse.
Oh yes.
Excellent. All right, so we've got Spotter. Let's go next to Carling. Carling, who are you playing first?
I am playing Tama. She is a catfolk swashbuckler. She grew up in a family of sort of traveling nomadic street performers, so she's got that acrobatic sort of background skill, but she also had to learn how to defend herself, so that's how she's picked up the swashbuckling skills. And she's like a black and white spotted cat.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know the technical term for the black and white cat.
Right, she's a cat that a kid would name Oreo. You know what I mean.
You know what? It's funny how that immediately paints the picture.
Right?
Perfect.
Instantly.
Everyone's met this cat.
You're like, oh yeah, all right, yeah.
Yeah, that's Oreo. I know him. You know him. Everybody knows him. All right, Alex, who are you bringing out first to play?
All right, we're gonna start with Jagorsh Jag Bukowski, who is a halfling fighter. Imagine yourself short, cropped hair. He's got a soldier's haircut. If you imagine the idealized, kind of like soldier in a movie, but you made him really short and small, that's Jag. That's him.
So Jag is just Tom Cruise playing Tom Cruise in a
yeah.
movie. Okay,
yeah!
I love it.
He's just Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise playing Storm and Norman.
He does all his own stunts.
It all makes sense now. There you go.
Perfect. All right, Brian. Last and certainly not least.
I'm gonna go with the bestest boy ever, Toby Guboy, Shuni, a golden cocker that will protect everybody because he's a good boy.
I absolutely love this. And so, just like that, it's funny that you've drawn up these lines. So, the Orc Ascendancy is a relatively recent invention. It came about after the first few months of the war kicked off between the Dwarven Hobgoblin Orcish alliance of the the Unshackled, the hegemony of the Unshackled. Let me get that out. And essentially, they work together, but they've had to learn, because the Commonwealth and the Celestian Conclave fight in two very different ways. The Conclave, on one hand, prefers refinement. When you have a whole lifetime to get really, really good at things, you tend to get really, really good at things. But you don't, if you have a 900-year lifespan, plan on having kids more than maybe every couple times, maybe every couple centuries. So they really abhor any sort of casualties, and they really go for those lightning fast, highly skilled kind of hit and runs, and very magic focused, very high tech in that regard, blending magic and technology. Whereas the Commonwealth, oh boy, what they lack in technology and maybe martial culture, they more than make up for it with nationalistic fervor and fierce individualism. Everybody in the Commonwealth brings something to the table. They're a meritocracy where you want to earn glory so that you can stand a chance at ascending in society, maybe when all this is over. So, although they're armed mostly with like mass-produced weapons, we're talking about in this era, it would be like something like a bolt-action rifle for most of their troops, unless you're specialized, like say you're a swashbuckler, or so you may have some combat ability with magic, or you're designated medic because you're the cleric kind of type deal. They make use of a mixture of these kind of fantasy classes in their squads, if you will, but they do have to control themselves because they have this awful propensity to try to make themselves into martyrs with their enthusiasm. So that is a drawback that they do have. But again, it's always terrifying when wait, I thought we were attacking them and they're charging already. Is kind of their vibe. But let's continue on. So as we have this lineup, you guys are fresh off the boat. You've been staying in this garrison for a couple of weeks, getting on to a month. The veterans who have been around are not giving you guys the time of day, really, because why bother learning another name I'm going to have to forget in a week? And you've had some chances to kind of interact with each other, so let's build out just the barest connection here. I'm going to just link a couple of you up here. We're going to ask each other one question, and we're just going to establish some basic character stuff so that we get a little bit more attached before I rip them away from you. And that's going to be, let's start with, okay, Spotter and Tama. It's a little bit interesting, a little bit odd couple there, the cat folk and the rat folk, but you guys have been getting along ever since you've both come to be assigned to the shared garrison. What did you guys bond over?
That's easy. Food. Oh God, like food. God, have you seen food?
Oh, I believe it. What? Okay, so then we've touched on food. Tama, what was the food in question? Because the rations are rations, but you guys have had a little bit of time here to scrounge and to learn how to try and turn it into something more. What did you do with the standard issue rations that made Spotter go like, oh, I gotta be friends with you?
Oh, Tama has this old family recipe for smoking fish to make it last longer. And yeah, shared that recipe and bonded over that.
Excellent. All right. And that leaves us with Tobias and Gregorz. What is it that you both find so fascinating about this island that you've conversed, you maybe you enjoy going out on patrol together, but for like let's just say an educational purpose almost. What does let's start with our little our half Tom Cruise. What does he find so fascinating about this kind of young landmass in the middle of the ocean?
It's new land for the Conclave or whatever. Not Conclave, we're the
Commonwealth, yes.
The Commonwealth. New land for the Commonwealth. What's not to love? Rightfully ours, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah, obviously. And so we're all very excited for that. Especially because I have no idea how it came out of the ground.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah, I'm going for walkies.
Yeah, walks are nice. Yeah, we like walks, don't we?
I was expecting like some sort of like he's like an anthropologist by hobby, but no. Good boys love walkies, and it's been a family trait for as long as you can remember. And you're not about to break tradition just because there's a war. In fact, it turns out walkies are part of war.
A natural part of them, in fact.
Sometimes you get very orderly walkies in formation, and sometimes you get to go for a nice jaunt in the field walkies, and sometimes you get to charge the enemy. And I guess that's a kind of very aggressive walkie.
Yes.
Now, let me ask the group. Now, I said you were all replacements, but I mean, that doesn't mean you haven't seen some action in the past. And I'm going to let you all decide really quickly right now. Were you conscripted or were you volunteers for this fight? Really quickly, go down the list. We'll go in reverse order this time, though. Let's start with Brian.
Volunteer, of course.
Well, yeah, he's a good boy. And he was asked to do something by the government, so he's going to do it, right? He's a good boy. Gregorz.
Oh, Jag's definitely a volunteer. The very idea that people think that that small folk can't fight with the best of them. It's downright insulting.
Hey, you know what? We've got to deal with that bias, and
Exactly,
the best way to do
yeah.
it is with a knife through the back of the knee. Tama.
She's a volunteer as well. She's sick of this shit, wants it to wrap up, and if she had been conscripted, she's stubborn enough that she would have refused out of principle anyway, so...
I love that for Tama. He's like, I'm here because I want to be, and if you didn't ask, I wouldn't come. And finally, last but not least, Spotter.
So Spotter, Spotter volunteered, but not like on purpose. He was on the wrong ship at the wrong time. So now he's a little in too deep that if he doesn't want to leave, and he feels like if he leaves, it's a bad idea. So he's, for all intents and purposes, volunteered.
Spotter's been along from the ride ever since he got off the boat and it left without him.
I fell asleep on the wrong ship.
Oh no. You hate when you miss the duty change. Alright, so, let's go really quickly then. I'm just going to, switch a screen really quickly, and let's just see how this plays out really quick. We're going to have a smooth transition. Or is it going to be? Alright. Okay, so, you guys all find yourselves, let's just say for all intents and purposes, it is morning. And although you've had a lot of time here, you've obviously been involved in the construction of this outpost that we see in front of us on the VTT. You guys are going about your daily, business. Things have been fairly lax in terms of discipline, because this is not like, shall we say, as strict a professional army as most. You guys are at base. You guys are able to kind of go around the courtyard. You've got some targets to do some target practice on. You've got some some benches in order to do the work that you must. Now, very quickly, let's just go through the list here. What weapons should you all have? Because Gregor, you are a halfling fighter. What equipment would you be carrying? Would you be carrying a sword?
Standard issue, or perhaps like a handgun and a short sword. That seems fitting for his size.
All right. Let me just pull that up and then deliver it to you. Okay. And let's say it's a pistol then, shall we? All right. Give you a lovely flintlock pistol. We'll give you some pistol rounds for that pistol.
Lucky
of course. And we'll give him as well let's give him a long sword. I feel like, so the way that the Commonwealth typically equips its squads, it usually has a couple of melee users, and as well they have their rifleman and they have their cleric, and they might have their sponsored mage as well. So we'll just throw a long sword in there for you. Boom, you should have all of those available to you now. Moving down the list, we got Spotter. Spotter, what is Spotter cleaning right now? Like, what weapon is he maintaining at the moment?
He's probably got a rapier.
Rapier?
Or a scimitar. Let's go with scimitar.
Scimitar? Okay.
Yeah. And probably a couple daggers. He was a sailor, but if he's in more of a militant sailor, then the flintlock wouldn't be on his side. So I'm cool with the scimitar and a couple daggers.
All right, we'll just do scimitar, a couple daggers. That kind of all tracks for Spotter there. Now, I will also note that because this is late in the war and you are all replacements, equipment is starting to kind of thin out. It's been standardized, but we're not talking like, okay, everybody's walking in armor with full plate, all the rest of it. You guys are meant to be garrison troops, not frontline fighters. In fact, no one really expected anyone to be crazy enough to launch a major assault over something that's not strategically very valuable, but it's very much so valuable in terms of ideology and symbology. Nobody's been able to make a major gain this war, really, and the fact that these are new land, anyone who can kind of press their claim to it's going to have a very big win to go back home with. So that's why we're fighting over here today. So Tobias, what would our good boy have? Oh, I see you've already done it, so that's perfect. He's got his warhammer, javelin, steel shield. You know what? I will let him keep the breastplate because he is a champion and the Commonwealth does kind of assign that to kind of their tankier boys. They do give a little bit of armor because the whole idea is you're supposed to get up in their face, and the metallurgy of the day is such that it can resist firearms. So I think I'll let you keep that there. Tama, what is Tama's kind of... Oh, I see you've got a scimitar already. So
I did add a scimitar already. As long as we're giving away weapons, can I get some throwing stars too?
You sure can, because that would be very much in line with... actually, I'm going to give you some throwing knives because we don't have throwing stars in our module. But I will give you some throwing knives. Why the heck not? Because it makes sense for the cat folks to have them. All right.
Can I get a quilted armor as supposed to be like one of those French frock coats?
Yeah, absolutely.
War in World War One.
In fact, that is kind of the idea. So you know what? I'll give you all quilted armor if you don't already have the breastplate.
Oh, amazing.
Because I believe you are all actually classes that can make use of light armor.
Guys, I think we got this.
I'm feeling good.
I think
we're gonna win the war. We're done.
I think we're fine.
Guys, this is the easy part. I love it. It only gets easier, right? Right?
I'm sure.
All right. So
I've got quilted armor. I'm good.
And that's about the time that you notice, you know what? No, you don't notice things for free in this game. Let's make our first roll of the campaign. A perception roll. Everybody give me a perception roll in Foundry really quickly.
All right.
And let me know what the results are.
Does this involve smell?
Now we get to see how much I remember of how to...
I'll allow it for this, actually.
Oh, how do you... Oh, dude, you guys get, whole dice. That's cool.
You can set that up, I believe, in your settings. I've included the cool 3D
No, I got it.
dice
I'm
there.
feeling left behind. This is perception, yeah.
Alright, so Tama has an adjusted 8 with a +4 modifier. Tobias has a 10 with a +4 modifier. Okay.
Yeah, 12.
12.
17.
And then Spotter has got a nose on him, like...
A 25 because it a +2 because it's scent-based.
Alright, this is what I'll give. I'll give you guys both different components of this, because I think that it's actually very salient that you said, can I smell? So... Gregors, I'm going to give you that, it's very early in the morning, but you guys have all kind of started in your routine together. That's why all the 5 of you are kind of already out and about getting to it, because you're all kind of enthusiastic characters, I've noticed, which is great. Gregors, on a 17, what you notice is that, there's no alarms yet. It's quiet. It's too quiet, and that's where you hear this, all of a sudden...
too quiet.
Just a thump, thump, thump.
Incoming!
And Spotter, with a 23 on the smell, I'm going to get, from you, I'm going to give you this. The 2 things you notice. 1, it smells like fog. It smells like thick fog is rolling in. The weather, you could feel it in your joints, you could smell it on your nose. You're a sailor, you know patterns in the weather and
smell like rain.
Pressure changes and such. And you get the faintest whiff, just because, I think this is fun and it's not that big an island. You get the faintest whiff of, just like that ion kind of almost arcane buildup. Like when there's a static charge in the air, you can kind of smell the ozone building.
Yeah. He's immediately on edge. Fog everywhere.
All right, and with that, you're all going to make me the very first saving throw of the campaign.
That's how they
die right here.
You're going to all make me a reflex saving throw. Spotter and Gregors, you're going to make it at advantage, though, because you actually had a little bit of sensory input as to what's coming, and Gregors, you even said, incoming.
Not that one. It's real good that I have...
Oh, no.
It's real good that I have one jacket. That's better. 14's better.
Okay.
I'm a good boy.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Oh.
17, and then
the humanity.
21!
Okay, so we're going to work our way down the list here. We got some reflex saving throws here on the board. Tama, with cat-like reflexes, with a 22, you manage to kind of you don't even realize why you're jumping until you're jumping and spinning through the air, and because that's a critical success for the DC that I set for this. You don't take any damage from this, as a medium caliber artillery shell kind of lands in the middle of your group.
I knew it!
Spotter, with a 17, you're going to take half damage from what happens next.
So I have 21. That was my first roll.
Oh, okay. You have a 21? Perfect. Okay, thank you. With a 21, it's not a critical success, but it is a success. So you are still going to take half damage. You're going to be able to kind of, you get away, but you're too close essentially to get emerge completely unscathed. We'll say that like the concussive force hits you, but the shrapnel goes all around you. Tobias, you have yourself a 23. That is a critical success. I'm going to say that Tobias just kind of looks over and then just lands, and it's just kind of like you're just sturdy enough that you stand there, take it, and because no shrapnel hits you, it just kind of like whooshes around you. And what kind of dog are you? Do you have like the floppy ears?
Maybe kind of floppy ears with a golden brown fur.
They just like get blown straight back, kind of like flapping in the wind, and then go down. But you're like unfazed by this.
Shit.
And finally,
Oh no!
my good boy Gregor.
Not Jog.
Jog, you were ready for this war, but you really thought it was going to go another way.
Oh no!
You are going to take half damage because you are kind of close. Oh wait, no. You have a success, so you are going to take half damage, but it is still an artillery shell. So I'm going to roll. I'm going to roll the 3d10 of damage of bludgeoning.
3d10. Oh,
yeah,
no.
3d10, and
that can kill everybody.
that could kill any of you at this point. And I'm gonna roll this behind the screen here.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
And all right.
Because at half damage, that's exactly half
I
my
thought
health.
Jag would made it to first turn, but no, not even that.
Okay, so let's just see here. Actually,
See your
Jag,
dice.
you got real lucky. You got real lucky that you're only taking 8 points of damage from this, because I rolled like absolute dog crap on this very first roll. But you are that is a lot of your hit points at 18 hit points.
Yeah, no, that's not good.
So you're down to 10.
They got me.
And
those
let's go
bastards
here.
got me.
Unfortunately, Spotter, we have to roll for you as... oh, wait, no, you got the 21, so you... No, we still have to roll for you, because the threshold was DC 12. You are just underneath the threshold for a critical success. In Pathfinder, as a reminder to everybody, going 10 above or 10 below the DC of a roll is a critical fail or a critical success, which is very pertinent to the application of buffs and debuffs, which is part of the reason I love the system. So we'll just roll your damage real quick here.
I just don't need you to roll a 30.
Okay, so Spotter, this is very interesting. You are down. 15 points of damage on the die, 15 hit points on the rat. So you are currently doing what I like to call dying.
At half
Oh
damage?
no!
And already.
Please make it to the first initiative.
Now, don't get me wrong. We are an initiative right now. So in fact, I'm going to get everybody to make a roll for initiative, as may not be fighting enemies, but things are dropping out of the sky, and you're going to have some moments here in which you can do things that is going to be very pertinent to when the next shell drops at the end of turn order. The next bomb will drop. I am going to roll a deviation roll, and that is going to inform us about what happens next. So Spotter, I'm going to go ahead and let's just see here. We're just going to add all of you guys to combat. And let's get, I'm going to just, let's see here. We've got some initiative rolls. Initiative perception. Gregor's, I'm going to apply your 12 in just a moment. Can I do it manually? Okay, perfect. So, that is excellent. We've got, Spotter, did you roll initiative here? I think I'm missing your roll.
I think being down, I just get a 0. And
I think you're right. You are actually at the bottom of initiative here. So,
just get initiative.
Tobias, because you are unscathed and have a modified 20 on your initiative roll, you go first. And your buddy, it was an idyllic, peaceful morning. The fog was rolling in. You hear some thuds, and now just boom! Your world has exploded. Your ears are ringing. Spotter is laying in a pool of his own blood on the floor. Gregorj is concussed, and Tama is over there looking fine, but probably a little bit shaken by these events. What does Tobias do?
Shit. Kinda panic a little bit at the beginning, and then first action, I go forward trying to get near Spotter, and
So it should be about only 10
use
feet. Yep.
Yep, and I'll use with my second action my only lay on hands to wake them up.
Okay, give me that lay on hands roll.
Toopy, come on.
Come on. Big good boy rolls.
Lay on hand healing, roll healing. So, yeah, it's 6 points that you get immediately. And with my last action, I will raise my shield just in case.
Perfect. Okay, so you've raised shield. Your AC goes up by 1. You're ready. And Spotter has been given the gift of life. For, like, everything went black. All right.
Ah, there's artillery coming.
Well, yeah, obviously.
I just thought everyone should know.
All right. That concludes Tobias's turn. Let's go to... Oh, hold on here. Let's go to Tama. Tama, what are you doing? Around this time, I also want to kind of like interject that the allies will be kind of like butting in a little bit. And this is like the whole of everything. Like after that first explosion, you hear like the siren go up to, you know, call you all to the beaches, to the trenches. You know, the other squads are starting to move out. They're going through the gate. You know, the sergeant comes out, who is a grizzled looking elf with like, you know, a big facial scar, an eye patch, wearing like almost like a Prussian Landjäger green uniform, and has what looks like almost like a sci-fi, almost like Magitech mage lock rifle, which in this universe, if you cast a cantrip or a spell into one of these devices, amplifies it in terms of what it does. So it's essentially, if you hold one of these, it gives your ignition like a spell sniper feat and like a bunch of other nice little boosts. And he's getting out there and he's yelling at you. It's like, "Oi, you lot! Get off the ground! We have to get to the trenches!" And just goes about his way. He runs out the door. So for you guys saliently, what this means is to progress, you guys are going to have to make it off map, following the path down to the beach trenches. You could try to take cover inside, but it could go badly. So, Tama, what are you doing next?
I guess I'm running towards the trenches. Let's see, what's my speed here? 25 feet. Okay, so I will move 25 feet that away.
All right.
That's the door. That way-ish.
Excellent. All right. So, Spotter. Well, you're not doing dying anymore, but you are prone on the ground, and you do have the Wounded One condition.
Wounded One, yes. So, getting up, I believe it's just an action, right?
Yep, just one action.
Fantastic. And then I'm going to... I'm just going to take the double movement. And move almost directly south. I'm going to be going to the wall.
Okay, so you move... what's your speed, 20 feet?
I believe so.
All right, yeah, because you're a small creature. So 20 feet, I'm assuming you're using 2 actions to go 40 feet to get to the wall? Okay.
Yes, and so down and we're good.
Okay. You have... Oh, yeah, so that'd be all 3 of your actions. Excellent. So I believe you should be able to move Spotter, so you can go ahead and move him down to where you want him, 40 feet down.
It's not like turn in combat, it says.
Yeah, sorry. That's right, because you ended up doing dying. So let me put you back in... Let's just say for DM purposes here, I'm just going to make this easy and throw you down here.
That's right.
Okay, excellent. Gregorsh, it is now your turn in initiative.
I'm going to do the what's it called? The sudden charge class feat to get the heck out of here. So that's going to actually allow me to stride twice, so up to 50 feet. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Out the door.
Excellent. All right. So
I get running. He's just, he's got that Tom Cruise speed. Like,
Gregor's just running.
Tightens up and goes.
Tobias is over there. Tama is also making for the exit. And that's when you have another shell landing. I am going to roll some dice here. Okay, 4 targets on a 4. Okay, so it's going to land over here. Let's roll a deviation. All right, so it lands 3 inches deviated off of the building here. Let me just... As it's not a accurate bombardment, it is just a kind of saturation from the fleet that is coming in from the Iron Sky Conclave. So let me just... Where is my circle template? Boom.
Oh, Cherry blocked out the shot.
Alright, so it's going to land here. So unfortunately, Tama, you're the only one who's going to have to roll me a saving throw here. But roll me a DC 12 reflex saving throw.
Reflex, alright.
Oh! The first natural 20 of the campaign.
Can't touch
Look
me.
at it go.
29. Tama
Matrix.
refuses to die, and as like the second shell hits, like the courtyard, like the upper deck kind of like explodes. The crenellations all kind of crumbling, falling out. Shrapnel and pieces are going everywhere. One just bounces off Tobias's shield as it kind of like reflects off the ground. But Tama again, like, the hairs on your back of your neck are standing up, but you manage to twist away from this again. And again, just like when a cat looks surprised that it, made a reflex jump, it's kind of like the look I picture on Tama's face, like, I didn't know I could do that. As you
Cats
manage
don't
to
obey
get
the
away.
laws of physics, okay? You don't know shit about cats.
That is absolutely correct. Don't need to do that. Get rid of that for now. Okay. And with that, I wish I could say that that would be it. That would be all. However,
We survived the war.
You could make it be just that.
I wish, but I've rolled again, and I've rolled my deviation again, and this time it's a 20-foot radius. Tobias, you're gonna make me the reflex saving roll.
Not the good boy.
Not the good boy.
Yes, sir. Let's
Got
go.
this. Big money, no whammies.
Big money, no whammies. Oh! The fake out on the 4. All right, with an 18, you succeed, but you're still going to take half damage. So I am rolling the
That's okay.
3d10. You are probably the sturdiest one on the party right now. So. But let's just see.
No.
This.
No,
No.
Don't do it.
not the good boy.
All right.
Don't worry.
You know what? It's okay. It was a 19.
Oh, good. It was only a 9.
It was only a 19. So
It's
you're going to
only
be
9
taking
damage.
half the damage. So that's only
Yeah.
going to be 9 damage.
It's
So,
for a flesh wound.
Tobias, like, it's just kind of like, he's a good boy. And good boys show no fear. So he's just going to pick up his shield. And, this anthropomorphized dog essentially is gonna, with all the all the strength he can muster, raise his shield, start just walking forwards, and then boom, just like he was trained, most of it bounces off the shield. He's got a couple of pieces of shrapnel in him, but he was trained to ignore that. Not important.
Plot armor.
And you are going to live to see your turn initiative. Tobias.
Yay.
What do?
So I'll use my 25 feet of movement 3 times in a row to get.
Get the heck out of here.
Yep.
I love it. I love it. They're screaming like some of your allies have not been as fortunate. As I mentioned, everybody else is rushing out. I don't have enough tokens to kind of really properly represent this without cluttering the VTT.
So the exit is straightforward from where I'm
Yes,
going.
you
right?
have to get off of the map on the VTT. So you just got to get to the bottom there. Actually, I think you might be able to make it with all. What is it? 3 times
That it
25,
is,
75.
No, this one. This is
Okay.
the last one I am
Perfect.
able to do.
Oh, heartbreakingly close to getting off the map.
Yeah,
All right.
it is what it is.
Tobias is just like, you know what? I gotta get out of here. We gotta be to the trenches. That was what I was told. I gotta get there. And he just, he starts like running away, just speeding past Tama, who looks a little bit like shaken from, dodging death, and Gregorz, who is, doing his best with the concussion that he's got to move his little
He's
legs but it's like Tom Cruise running full speed and then like a dog kind of jogging past him. And all right, there we go.
I mean, all those bitches walkies are the key here.
Right?
Damn right.
And Tama, it is now your turn in initiative.
Yes, I'm just gonna use my movement speed and get out of here.
Love it. Like you start charging off, like you're all just rushing to get to your positions. The dead and the wounded behind you, your unfortunate compatriots who did not roll as high on their off-screen reflex saving throws, are unfortunately, strewn about the courtyard as they too are trying to rush as an entire platoon of people is housed within this garrison. While one's at the trenches, one's in garrison, usually switch off. This was your rest phase, and you're trying to get out there to reinforce the people who are on the line. Okay, Tama, you've successfully made it away, so Tama, congratulations, you're out of initiative order, and you are at full health and going towards the beach. Gregor, you are next in initiative, and you should be able to make it off screen if you wanted to.
Just walking right off screen.
Excellent. Use this as, I think it's 2 movement actions for you, but that's okay. It's relevant. You have managed to get yourself out of initiative and have made it out safely. All right. Spotter. Spotter, you are perhaps, I think, muted.
I had to go find my voice. So I do have 25 feet of movement. If I read the character sheet, it tells me what the character sheet does. It's crazy.
One of the best things about Foundry VTT for people is that all the rules are right in there, and it makes it so easy to reference.
If you look at it hard enough, you can find it. So I'm gonna run my boy out, but I would like to use my last pip on something in the next room if the initiative order continues.
Okay, all right. I'll hear you out on this. You've got one more action after you've used your 50 feet, so...
Yeah. So I want to use... Oh, this is funny. When you enter, I want to use a feat that the investigator had said, that's odd. When you enter a new location, such as a room or a corridor, you immediately notice one thing out of the ordinary. The GM determines what it is, or whether it's nothing reasonable to pick up, skipping obvious clues that can be easily noticed. But you learn one thing in the area or object that is suspicious, but not why it's suspicious. So it's like, that thing over there, it sure is a thing, but it's a thing. Like
the little girl in Men in Black.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll give you this. With the that's odd trait, as you're sprinting out, if you look back towards the courtyard, like I said, all these other allies are trying to make it to the front. You notice a human soldier, rifleman, wearing Commonwealth uniform, who instead of rushing through the fire, shouting the Librian battle cry, the Librian line being a big symbol, like "Pour le Lion," as they are charging out, following their someone's got the standard with them as they're running out the door. He's just kind of like quietly Homer Simpsoned into the bushes, walked backwards into the garrison. Hey, you know what? No one's going to notice me. Congratulations, folks. I didn't sign up for this. I was conscripted. And so he's kind of slipped back inside. That's your something odd that you get.
Spotter will remember this.
Okay. All right. And that brings us through the initiative order. So that gives us one more artillery barrage. And unfortunately, Tobias and Spotter are still eligible targets for. So let's see here. Gonna roll my target. Gonna roll my deviation.
Yeah, what are the odds that they're gonna hit in front of us?
Why did you say that?
Yeah, you just had to say it, didn't you?
The first shell lands in the watchtower at the back, but this one is bigger. This is a bigger caliber of gun that is fired, and
thank God it's way over there.
It hits the magazine underneath the tower that was used to supply the cannons in it, and it explodes magnificently, sending shards of wood and masonry in every direction, and topples it outside towards the northwest. So you guys managed to come out fairly unscathed due to a fairly large deviation on the big one, but another shell like what you were been affected by recently is also now falling in. And now I'm going to roll my deviation, and this one is going to hit the wall over here. Oh, yeah, no, a little bit to the left. Let's see if it's actually going to hit. Ah! You lucky pricks. And it was just outside of being able to hit you. It hits the wall and creates a breach. Taking out some more soldiers who are on top of the wall, trying to get out of the gatehouse that they were manning. It's unfortunate, such as the nature of war. They have been connected to God's Wi-Fi via shell. And it is now Tobias Goubois' turn.
I will use my first action to move when I'm able to move my token, but in the meantime...
Oh, yeah. My apologies. Here we are. Back at the top.
Don't worry.
All right.
2, and that's it.
He's off. He's off down to the beaches. And now Spotter.
He's right behind them. He's
All right.
He's on.
And Spotter's also going to move off the map. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. So, let me just bring us to the relevant place. So, all right. Let's just activate this here. And let me get your tokens out. So, you guys approach the beach, and you approach, essentially, it's a rocky, kind of like a Pacific atoll. There's a lot of like big rock formations. It's more of like a looser form, and it's like there are dugouts, there are entrenched positions down into the rock and the hard sand and dirt. And here, let me just pull your tokens out here. We've got you guys approaching, flooding into the positions in front of you, following. I'm just gonna give us this kind of order here. Spotter, very eager to get into the fight, kind of has snuck through to the fore.
Oh no!
But as you can see here, what we've got are a complex network of trenches. Now, you guys would be familiar with the layout of these because you helped in their construction. But as you're running down from on top of the hill where the garrison is, you run through like a brief stretch of undergrowth and like outcroppings, and it's a little bit rough. But there's been paths kind of like cut through just by use and by tool. And you arrive at the trenches, like I said. Now, there's a couple of points of interest that I just want to point out really quickly to you guys because as people who have constructed this, you would know what they are. So the first is there is a what's called the Silver Hand. It is the standard issue kind of multi-barreled anti-ship, anti-medium infantry kind of cannon emplacement for the Commonwealth. This is a 3-man kind of crude weapon for the purposes of reloading. If you have less than that amount of crew on it, it could incur some penalties in terms of action economy to use that. Over here on this more futuristic looking tool, that's one of those like Magitech artillery pieces that I spoke of. If you can cast cantrips into it of any kind, you'll be able to, or spells, you'll be able to use that, and it amplifies them through these kind of prisms and ores and technology that's been assembled by Gnomish hand inside of it to amplify that spell into a enormous kind of output, essentially multiplying it to the point where it acts very much so like almost like a beam weapon or artillery shell, depending on what spell's been cast into it. Over here in this bottom left corner is a kind of command dugout. It's where the medics will be hanging out and the surgeons, as well as the command bunker with the communications line back to high command and the ships and the other islands and such. If you see any of these kind of like rattan mat-looking things that are poking out of the rocks, those are entrances to dugouts. You guys can take shelter in those if there's artillery strikes. They have a certain hardness point, essentially. They can sustain more fire than the trenches would, and will give you a bit of a bonus should a heavy barrage come through, but you're going to have to hide in them. Additionally, we have some kind of firing ports up here. Like this whole firing line, anytime you kind of see those smaller little sandbags, it's like a firing port that your characters can use to shoot over or sally forth should the counterattack be necessary. Yes, Ryan.
Oh no, the tally forth.
Yes, the sally forth. So, as you arrive at the front, two kind of leadership figures become available to you. You have the two sergeants, essentially. You have the grizzled kind of Elven Jaeger with the heavy-duty looking kind of amplifier, and you have, if you've played the one-shot that I play for home campaign, you'll notice this. You'll have Alphonse of the Black Creek, a Shuni champion wielding an enormous warhammer. Essentially, wearing a breastplate with the Librian line. He's a hero, well-known kind of like folk hero amongst the Commonwealth, and it's kind of inspiring that he's at the front lines with you. So you have a choice. On the western side of this trench line is kind of a more Celestian Conclave heavy element. On the eastern side is a more Commonwealth heavy element. And you guys will be able to pick where you want to set up as you're hearing, people are being directed. And if you look out, give me a perception roll, everybody, for what your characters see. It's been a harrowing couple of minutes already. Things have gone awry almost immediately for you in this session. Let's see what your characters are going to be able to pick up on as they come to this front.
We're all a little shell-shocked.
Oh no.
Guys, I think they went home.
Okay, actually, believe it or not, with the DC for this was only 10. You all noticed it immediately. And this isn't represented perfectly on the VTT because assets take time to build, but let's build some theater of the mind, especially for our audio-only listeners on the podcast, so just know this. So, as you approach to the beaches, like I said before, you have this network of trenches, and before you have craters and burning piles of scrub. And on the beach line there ahead of you, you have landing craft. They almost look like, if I was to pick a stylistic guide, they look more like turtle ships from like Korean heritage. If you don't know what that is, that's a completely enclosed ship. The prow has a menacing looking, it's actually not a turtle face, but it's the face of like a goblin, like a snarling, almost gargoyle goblin on the front of these landing craft. And what makes them unique is that although they're protected from the top and they have so they're motorized because this is a more technologically advanced setting. The front kind of, instead of deploying like you would say, like if you've ever watched Saving Private Ryan, those landing craft, they open the front door and it's just a shooting gallery. No, these are a little bit more complex, where the gargoyle face kind of shoots forwards a bit, and people pour out both sides behind of it. So there's a little bit of cover as they are deployed. And
All the things from episode 1 that
yes,
the droids. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
And what comes pouring out of this first essential wave would be goblins and hobgoblins, as well as orcs. The hegemony of the Unshackled has orcish kind of like warlords that control the surface of their kind of domain, as well as hobgoblins that have organized themselves into mercenary companies. That being kind of like the only way they exist now is as an organized kind of unit. And they've kind of become excellent. It'd be unfair to call them chaff, but that is how that military operates with them, because they are expendable until they've proven themselves in battle. They are highly motivated, almost like the counter mirror of the Librians. And what's interesting is, just to give them some flavor on this, these hobgoblins are armed almost like Austrian roundeshears of the 1630s and such. They have a nice big round shield that's made completely of metal and is unadorned, because hobgoblins favor unity and discipline in the face of the chaotic nature of your purebred run-of-the-mill goblin. And they also have a very strict kind of order system whereby you see them, they've clearly dismounted, tried to form up in ranks and then charge towards the trenches, but with this perception roll that you've all made, you can tell that did not go very well for the first wave. There are horrendous casualties strewn all across the beach, but these landing craft are kind of the ones that aren't destroyed. The goblin faces come back on, retracted, and it's pulling back out to sea. As you can tell, there's another wave of these boats approaching. I'm going to let you all make me... Ooh, does anybody have any... What lores do you guys have access to? Do any of you have any lore?
Sailing.
Warfare.
Okay.
Warfare.
Anyone with warfare or sailing lore, please go ahead and make me... Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to make those rules for you, because that's how this works in this game. But
what do we do?
You hold tight, and I'm going to tell you what you pick up on off of this. Let's just see here. Tama, unfortunately, your circus lore is not coming in very handy at the moment.
No, I didn't think it would.
Circus is not doing it here.
I mean, we are a bunch of clowns playing the game, but...
It's a clown fiesta here.
I see what you did there.
Thank you.
Okay, Spotter, with your
Yeah.
role, I can tell you this. You notice that with the way the current is going and the trajectory of these boats, that they're probably going to land more concentrated on the east. And let's just roll my warfare rolls for my good boy and my Tom Cruise.
That's me.
Okay, Tobias, unfortunately your wounds are affecting you, and you're focused on, all right, I get to finally do what I've trained for. I get to be a good boy. You go rushing off to the, you'd probably follow Spotter's advice based on
Leroy.
that. But with your I'm going to give you this. You critically succeed on your roll there, Gregorge. And Gregorge, you've studied war because this has been your obsession until you were able to be deployed. So you studied your enemy, and you know that they usually deploy several waves of chaff to weaken the defending forces before they deploy their line breakers, if you will, which are typically come in the form of heavy dwarven infantry paired with automatons. So with that, I'm going to let you guys all decide before we get into encounter mode. You have let's just say there's a couple of minutes before the next wave shows up. People are being carried out on stretchers because you have taken some casualties. There was clearly an artillery bombardment of the coast as well as the garrison earlier. And obviously, the hobgoblins did inflict some casualties. You do notice that on the eastern side here, the Librians seem to have had the goblins get a little bit closer than on the western side. And with your nat 20, I'll also throw in that you notice there's a lot more scorch marks over where the Celestian Conclave was holding their line, probably owing to some sort of flame-based magic being used effectively at close range. So, knowing that they're going to probably concentrate their attack on the east, I'm going to let you guys deploy your characters, if you will.
Okay. Come on, Jack. Forward.
I know
Can't move.
exactly.
Oh,
My
hold on.
legs.
Hold on.
My little legs.
Let me just... There we are.
I do welcome some type of parching, healing, whatever the fuck you want to provide if any of you are able to do
Oh, there
some
are surgeons
good
here.
medical treatment.
They're surgeons, but they're over in the southwest.
So we have to defend the east side, yeah?
Yeah, so right now, you guys can tell, and I'll just kind of give you a quick measurement here. On this eastern flank, you kind of have there's these positions over here. You could probably make use of this emplacement as well to try and take out some ships or heavier enemies or heavier packed enemies. Remember that it would take about 3 of you to man it effectively as... let's just say here, Tama, because you actually got up here and can kind of see into that area. I'll give you this. Is that you notice that the crew that was on there seems to have taken a direct hit and is a little bit indisposed to man it at the moment, as they're there and up there, kind of spread around the emplacement. But the gun seems unharmed, thankfully.
I'll head over there, because what are the odds an artillery's gonna hit it twice?
Yeah,
Lightning, right? It always
never
strikes.
happens.
Lightning, right?
I said that last time and I got yelled at.
All right. So we got Tama running over to the gun. Is anybody else going to join her
Or
on
also,
it?
yeah, I guess I would
Alright,
be
yeah,
talking
you know
with
what?
the
I'll come help
be like,
defend that. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
because if we don't have enough people for it, then
I've got you.
I'm gonna go. I want to do this so bad, and I feel bad if I don't because I've got more characters I'm gonna use. So, everyone's going to that gun. I'm gonna go to the big gun.
Can you cast any magic?
No, I'm hoping there are NPCs there because what he is going to do.
Okay.
Are we considering this free movement, or should I be counting?
No, you're free movement right now. You're all this is out of initiative at the moment. Yeah.
Cool, just making sure. What he wants to do is do his job. He wants to get on the top of it and point it in its direction. He wants to be the spotter for the artillery piece.
Well, the great news on that is that, believe it or not, there is an aim action that needs to take place, so you will be able to actually help with that. Okay? So.
I don't know how to do this, but I can know how to do that. People, help.
Okay, so let's just kind of like go over how we're gonna roll these rolls and how this is gonna work mechanically really quickly, because I feel like that's very important. Every siege weapon or mounted weapon, because Pathfinder's Guns and Gears expansion actually does add proper rules, shall we say, for that kind of thing, has a kind of crew that it should have in order to work effectively. If you don't have that amount of crew, you're going to incur some penalties. There is a load action, there is an aim action, and then there's a launch action. Certain siege weapons will take more than one load action, and some of their load actions may even take 2 actions based on how potent they are or how cumbersome they are. So, for your crew of 3 over here, for this gun, because it's multi-barreled, it's going to take 3 load actions that are going to be 2 action load actions. And then it's going to take an aim action and a launch action in order to fire. Now, that one is a single kind of damage, and it's going to do burst damage, because it's firing explosive shells. Spotter, for you, because that's a different kind of weapon. And we have, and we'll just say for now that there is an extraneous crew of Conclave allies that I will be rolling to see what they do.
Fantastic.
But you can actually assist their aim action. And with that one, when you're launching, depending on the spell that's cast, you will be able to pick single target, burst, cone, or line in terms of the templates for it.
Single target, burst, cone, or line. Okay.
Matt, I'll like to use my last focus point to use the only Leon hands I have available to heal myself a little bit.
I think that's a wise decision at this point. So let's get that going.
It seems nobody has battle medicine, so let's go with that.
Perfect. Let's get that going.
Next
Let's get that lay on hands rolling. Yeah, next level. Okay, so we've got the healing going there. Perfect. All right. We got 6 points of healing.
Yeah, I already added it on my end, so
Perfect.
don't worry.
Brings you up to 14 hit points, and every hit point matters. Okay.
Yep.
So, there will be, let's add you all to initiative again, because we are going back into encounter mode. And let's have you all roll for initiative.
Roll,
Oh,
pick a
live this
roll,
time.
pick a roll.
I can actually roll.
He can actually roll a nat 1.
Hey, if there's anything to roll a 1 on, perception, I think, or initiative, I think is it.
I mean, yes and no. I feel like there's some cases where you really do not want to go last.
Yeah. But it's one of the few times that you don't really incur too bad of a penalty.
Right. It's, alright, let's see.
You are playing with cannons. I don't know if it is good to be last.
Gregorge as a third.
That's true.
So,
With
let's
artillery
see.
coming down.
You'll-
It's fine, I'm sure.
Come on, yeah. Alright. Excuse the lag
guys
there
are
as
military
the
guys. They're gonna be looking for
VTT
military
gets
guys.
things sorted. Alright! So, let's get this. I'm just going to have to roll that quickly for you. Okay. Gregor, you're probably going to want to take the roll I just made for you instead of the roll you made.
Oh yeah.
Because
sure, yeah, we'll take it.
for initiative you rolled a 25 versus
Oh!
that. So yeah,
Moly.
there you go. That nat 20 with the
can I
plus
say?
5 modifier really doing some heavy lifting for you
This
there.
guy
So
is John Warfare.
That's me, John
Gregor,
Warfare.
you will be the first to notice that this cannon is not loaded. They got a volley off before they all got turned into paste. So you estimate you have probably 1 turn through this initiative order before whatever happens next happens. So you are leading us off. You have your 3 actions. Explain to us. You've gotten on the silver hand. Now what?
All right, I'm gonna do everything I need to do to start loading.
Okay.
Because we gotta get that gun loaded. It needs to fire. So.
All right. So roll me.
Gregor, that's,
let's
you know.
just see here. What should it be here? What should... Actually, it's an athletics check. So roll
Well,
me
I'm good at that.
an athletics.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Well, that's not good. So, Gregor,
I fumbled the artillery round. Oh no!
He dropped it.
you are like you were the first to the gun.
no.
You know how this gun works, but we don't know how we're going to react to combat till
Oh
we're in
no!
it. And
Tom Cruise.
in your incredible, this is like the beginning of the Edge of Tomorrow movie where like he's just not good at anything yet. He hasn't died enough times. And
Except he's not going to come back.
it mirrors real life in that he grabs one of these shells. The problem is, in your rush, you put it in backwards.
No!
Oh no!
So you've put the firing pin at the wrong end. You slam it down, but unfortunately, this is a multi-barreled weapon, so you're not going to realize you've done this until a little bit later. So that'll be your 2 actions to do your load actions. You have 1 action left.
Crying is a free action.
Yeah, then I cry a lot. Oh no!
Very
Well,
true.
I don't know that I messed it up, so... Alright, barrels loaded. Did I load all of them?
No. It requires
Just the
three actions. So
Yeah, just the one.
this is a 9-barreled beast. So you've actually loaded 3, 2 of them correctly, 1 of them incorrectly.
Oh no.
And now we are going to our next step in the initiative.
Do we by any chance realize that?
You know
Being
what?
next
If
to him?
you know what? I will allow. Gregor, you have 1 action left. These are your 2 options because I want to make it a little bit more fair, shall we say. I'll let you roll either a perception check as an action, because skill checks can earn action, or what I'll let you do is I'll let you use this action to perform a skill check to aid the next person's roll to load.
What would I add with the aid?
Aid, I'd let you roll another athletics check. If you critically succeed, you add +2. If you succeed normally, you add +1. It's going to be a DC 10 roll to aid, let's just say, who's next in the initiative? To aid Tobias and his action to load.
Yeah, we'll do the aid. Heck it.
Yeah.
Just make sure to grab the barrels and Wheel of Fortune, Price is
you
Right.
go.
It's going to be A-okay. He succeeds
24.
a critical success, so that's going to give
I'm
a
good at helping.
+2
I'm
modifier
killers.
as, again, like I said, you're enthusiastic. You know how this weapon system works, and you are just like, oh, we can grab that. You're helping him, like, maybe toss the arm that's on top of the ammunition box off of it, open it up, and you're going to help Tobias on his turn when it comes time for him to do whatever he's going to do with regards to loading. All right, so that's 1 load action down. It requires 2 more, and Tobias, it's your turn.
Well, I will keep on loading the other side and go with athletics checks then.
Yep, give me my athletics check.
So it's an 18 with the +2 from aid.
Then that's going to be a success, and you are going to shunk, like load all 3 of your shells in the correct direction, in the correct barrels, and you have 1 action left. You can choose to perhaps try to aid the next person, which would be Tom.
Yeah, sure. Let's.
All right.
What should I roll to aid? I don't know which skill should be tied to it, so let me know.
Athletics.
Okay.
For future context, throughout this campaign, if you can make an argument for what skill you're going to roll is going to be helpful, I will allow it if it makes sense. I'm always about that rule of cool, and it looks like you pulled a critical success by the skin of your teeth out of 20, and you're going to be able to add +2 to your athletics check, Tama, for when you go to load, and how convenient it is that you are next in line.
All right. Yeah, I will go ahead and also do that. Ooh, yay.
Oh, don't even need the +2 with a 28 natural 20 on the die. Tama, like, again,
someone's doing it right.
very dexterous. Just like Tobias is finishing up, and he goes to like offer you help, but you're like, don't need it, already done.
I don't just load it. I like add some flair. I like take like a trick shot.
Oh, I'm gonna kill us.
I love it. So like load, and just like a behind the back pass because like flair, swashbuckle it, baby. All right, so that is 2 actions. You have 1 action left, so you could actually aim this with a perception check.
Sure.
And I'll give you which targets are out there. So there's, let's just say there's 3 landing craft that are kind of approaching right now, and there is a chance that you can kill them before they land, or you could wait and wait till they disembark and fire on the people that get out of them. Your perception check will just indicate how accurate you are, whatever you're aiming at.
Gotcha.
So let's just roll that perception.
22?
With a 22, you're going to be able to hit whatever you're aiming at. So you're out of actions for your turn, but whoever fires the gun will be able to use that roll to say, hey, we hit the thing. Okay?
Cool.
All right. Excellent.
Yeah, Jack is gonna kill us next time. Awesome.
Oh no!
Spotter.
Hopefully, I
my
only kill
friends.
myself.
Spotter,
Yeah,
you've got 3 actions. This gun it cannot be loaded by you.
it cannot.
But you can aim it and do 2 other things.
So I haven't. This is me, Ryan, asking for maybe a real cool moment. Part of an investigator trait, I can use one of my do once per round. I can assess a foe's weakness.
You want to devise a stratagem?
I want to devise a stratagem for the incoming crafts.
Okay, yeah, no, absolutely. So you get to roll that d20 using your intelligence modifier, and you get to store that roll for an attack roll, but you must use it against the creature that you've made this against.
And since I have known weakness, whenever I devise a stratagem, I can attempt to check a recall knowledge as part of the action.
Absolutely, so go for it.
We want that sweet, sweet recall knowledge.
I'm just going to take a look at what you've got. I want to see what you got.
I just don't know what I would roll for them.
I'll say, you know what?
Straight up intelligence?
Roll society. I think
Society.
that you're trying to understand another society's motivations and tactics, and this is going to be, as good as I can get. With a 22, all right. With the 22, I'll give you this. I'll give you as much as I can.
Yeah.
These boats don't have weaknesses per se in the same way that sailboats might, where you could use a chain shot or target the masts or whatever. But with a little bit about what weapon system you're on and a little bit more about boats because you were a sailor. So I'll tell you that that if you hit them like just at the water line, that's probably going to be where you're going to do the most damage. And that, to give you something useful, I'll say that at this range, before they get closer, you're probably better off with the beam / single target rather than going for a splash damage.
Amazing. You can immediately convey this information to allies as part of your check, which allies get a +1 circumstance bonus on their next roll against the subject, as long as their attack is made before the beginning of my next turn.
Excellent. And that works out for your turn in initiative.
Yes.
Now, what did you roll for your devise a stratagem?
That's a great question. Let's do that now. A 1. A 1.
Oh, Spotter, it's been a rough day for you, buddy.
It's been a real rough day.
Shoot him!
It's okay.
Shoot him dead, I guess, is a good a strategy as any other. But yeah, you'll have to use that on your next attack roll against that target.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you can pick another target and not have to use it, but once you go to attack that target, you will be using your devised stratagem. Which it turns out for you, I'm going to say is probably like, I'm going to jump on the barrel at the last moment, and that's going to like give it that necessary, depression in order to hit the water line, which is not an exact science or very controllable way of adjusting telemetry.
Right.
But you have 2 more actions, and I'll say that this one's already loaded. You notice that there's like an infused kind of like reddish glow as the the magic is bouncing around inside of it and amplifying. You know that the one drawback of these weapons is that if you do not fire them after they've been loaded, they have a chance every round to critically fail, and their cast becomes around where they were amplifying it. So
Yeah.
I'll let you fire this weapon. And we can see what happens, but I'll let you pick which target. We'll say that the middle one was what you were gunning for originally.
You know what? And so this I think I'm gonna go ahead and use the stratagem. Just go ahead and get it out of the way and clear it out. And he's just gonna use the single target on it, and we'll
Okay,
see
on
where
a
it
nat
goes.
1, you point ahead, you do your devise a stratagem thing, you jump up as you're landing on the barrel of the gun to give it that necessary boost, because you couldn't convince the elf behind you to aim where you wanted to, so you're taking
That's what
matters
I'm
in your
saying.
own hands. Roll me a flat check to see if this gun misfires.
It's fine, I'm sure.
On anything lower than a 10, is going to be bad.
Can I add my crafting to this?
You cannot. This is a flat check.
Fair enough. Alright, I gotta blow up a big gun piece. 19!
Alright, so it doesn't
He got it.
explode in your face, thankfully.
He does it! He
Um,
lives!
I will say that, and this, lance of light that almost kind of because you're right next to the barrel looking right at it as you kind of land on it, you see it, and it blinds you a bit, so you're going to take your next aiming roll at disadvantage as it fires out lances, but again, not too imprecise. You hit just below the waterline, but there's an enormous kind of explosion of water, and for a brief minute the ship disappears and a cheer goes up from the crew until you realize that you hit just short, and it is plowing forward still towards the beach.
I'm sure it's
Okay, we get to the top of initiative, and Gregor, I'm going to give you that. Similarly to when you were at the garrison, you hear again this not a thumping, but you hear a whistling noise approaching in the air.
I yell incoming.
All right. So this is what I'm going to need to have happen. I'm going to roll my deviation, and then y'all are going to roll perhaps a reflex saving throw.
No.
it's gonna
as
deviate and hit the big piece.
the bombardment happens. Obviously, now that they've had their first wave come in and kind of return, they've got some reconnaissance. The fire is going to become a little bit more accurate. And let's just see here. They managed to impact right here. I'm going to need Gregor's and Spotter to make me reflex savings throws.
That's fair.
And I'm going to have to determine what hardness damage gets done to these emplacements.
Let's see here. So roll 1d20.
Reflex
This is a reflex, yeah.
A reflex.
Come on.
Now, the
Oh,
DC
no.
is a little bit lower than it was at the garrison because you guys are in kind of hard cover. With a DC of 15, we've got one success. Two successes. They both get the half damage.
I think I might still die.
I think I still wait, they do.
Jag's about to get shredded.
Okay, so you're both going to take... Oof, what is this? This is 7 points of... Oh, wait, no, 8 points of damage.
Ah, son of a!
I just made it.
Ah!
Let me guess.
I had 6.
He had the seats that I gave him with Leon Hans.
Okay,
Spotter gets
so
nailed.
Jag, you are at 2 HP. Spotter, you
Jagor's just bleeding out
you
every hole.
are
It's like,
unfortunately
two.
skipping straight to dying 2.
Yeah.
Due to having
No.
that awful wounded condition.
the fabric that the government gave me didn't stop the artillery shell.
I don't understand.
All right, so
It's okay. I got to shoot a giant gun as a rat. I've already lived the character out. We can move on to the next one.
all right, so who's next in the initiative here? It's none other than Gregor.
Yeah.
All right, so
All right.
the boats are closer. You can tell that at the end of this round, shall we say, they will be at the beach. You have 3 boats. They are coming mostly to the eastern edge. You have 9 barrels of hate, though, and they are loaded. And the special trait about this weapon is you get to make multiple attacks. You can choose if you want to make them all. I'll
start firing.
Yep, so Tama managed to aim it pretty well for you on the last round, so if you fire, you just have to tell me which one you're firing at, then make a ranged attack roll.
The closest boat.
Okay, closest boat would be the one that, you know what? We'll just say it's the middle one, just like Spotter aimed at. You're going to aim at it too. It's already lined up. All you got to do is pull the lanyard. And roll.
Want me to roll that or what?
Yeah, make me your ranged attack roll. Let's just say add dexterity to it. Whatever dexterity bonus you have.
Add dexterity. Oh no.
Oh no.
I'm a little guy. I'm just a wee little guy.
12. Okay.
All right, that's not
With a 12, I'll give you this. They're not hard to hit. They are hardened, but they're not hard to hit. So the fun part about this weapon is it fires 3 barrels at a time. So you pull the lanyard, thump, 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 and then it rotates. And you've used one action. You fire, the 3 shells impact, and I'm gonna roll 5d10 for that. Oh, sorry, actually, no, it's 9d6. My apologies. Okay, so you overcome the hardness of the boat, and you do...
What can I say? I'm good at overcoming hardness.
And this is a bit more of a set piece. It's kind of a pass-fail. You actually... Thunk, 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 and the shells impact one after another. That's how they're designed to overcome regenerative armor and the like. So one hits the grimacing gargoyle in the mouth. The second one hits it right after, and the third one just punches straight through and hits something critical inside as you see this thing explode from the inside out in a kind of catastrophic failure, as one of the landing craft has been obliterated by your hapless crew. You still have, I believe, 2 actions left, so you could fire the other at the other.
Yeah. You know what? I'll keep on trucking.
All right.
Salvo.
Fire again.
Fire.
We got one. All right. Come on.
So let's have a ranged attack roll with the dexterity.
Fire.
All right, 19. Yeah, that's another hit. So I'm gonna roll.
Get it, me boy.
9d6.
I mean, it's a 20 if it makes it a crit.
All right, and this is gonna go in, thunk, 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 and this time you're gonna hit. It's not gonna blow the boat up, but you've done damage. It slows down. Like one hits like ricochets off because you try to aim at the same spot, like, and the other 2. One of them smashes into the side, damaging some components and all whatnot. The other one skids across the armor, then explodes on top, doing some damage, but not shutting it down and doing catastrophic damage like the last one. Right. And you have one more attack.
One last pull.
However, you're going to roll me a flat check to see if it misfires, because this is on the barrel that...
Oh, no!
Okay.
This is on the dud.
Unfortunately. Make me an ranged attack roll, because...
I have a comment. Didn't we have a hero point, something like that at the beginning, or we...
Oh no, none of you are heroes
if
yet.
we do something. Okay,
none
awesome.
None of you are heroes yet.
We're gonna die, guys. It was a pleasure to fight with you.
It was good fighting with you, boys. All right.
Yes.
4 to go.
What do you need? What do you need from me? What do you need?
I need. Oof. Okay, I need the ranged attack roll, because 2 of these did go off.
Okay. That's called silver lining.
That's being heroic. He's paying it. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so that's gonna hit.
Jago's going well. Good little lad.
Jag, your first 2 shots hit, so I'm gonna roll these 6 d6. All right, with this, thunk, 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 and thunk,
thunk,
and one goes in, second goes in. It starts to list very severely, as you can see. It start to sink. Because it's enclosed completely. There's not a lot of escape routes for the occupants, unfortunately. Well, fortunately for you, anyway. But it goes down to Davy Jones' locker. But plink, plink, and then the firing pin, rather than hitting the the primer, hits the warhead, and I'm gonna need you all to make me. Everyone in that pit needs to make me a reflex saving throw.
Oh no, I'm
Shit.
killing everybody. I'm killing
You've
everybody.
doomed us all.
That's what, no, I didn't doom you. You're already dead.
I'm already dead. I had a chance.
Oh, that's not looking good.
Okay. Unfortunately, because you're all in such close proximity, the DC was higher on this, and none of you have made a success.
God.
So
Oh shit! Okay.
because I'm following the same pattern, you're all going to take 3d6 of damage as the last shell explodes in the barrel. This might be fatal for some of you.
I'm sure it's fine.
12 points of damage.
Goodbye, world.
So, Gregorz, unfortunately, this is going to prove fatal for you. Let's see here. Let's see. Tama has 19 hit points. You are now down at 6. Oh, wait, no, 7. 7. I'm bad at
The
math.
Commonwealth.
This is why we use VTTs. And Tobias, you're at 2.
I'm still alive. I'm
Still
still alive,
alive.
boy.
Jag, that was some pretty hefty damage. You're now at dying 1. You're doing dying. Congratulations. I will also allow my players to decide if they want to like roll out all the dying rolls for a character, or if they were like, no, give me the next one. So
He's down. He's
okay.
down. Let's get another one.
All right. So unfortunately, our small boy, our small Cruz, has gone down with his mistake and is dead. Who are you bringing in next?
It's a great question. Let's see here.
I'll let you think about that while we.
We are going to bring, because there's already swashbucklers here, I'm going to bring my catfolk swashbuckler, Johann Katz.
All right.
is good,
Johann
yeah.
Katz has been, has decided that time's up. I gotta get out, get back to the fight.
Yeah.
But it sounds like the artillery barrage has ended with that last big explosion. Although that sounded a little bit different from the other ones.
That sounded different. That sounded kind of funny.
You emerge and you're like your forest green and with your yellow kind of like breast plating with the cords, and you emerge with your rapier like what have you, and so on and so forth.
Yes, we will teach them a lesson for the I don't know, the barbarism.
Tell us a little bit about Johann Katz and his background.
Johann Katz is he is definitely conscripted. But say he's not letting that stop him from doing anything. He was picked off of the streets. He was a charlatan back then, to go trick people for money and all that. But he is a fine swashbuckler, quite good with his sword, plenty of panache and all that. So he's a cat. What kind of cat is he? Johann sounds like an orange cat to me.
Ah, yes.
he seems very orange.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
That intelligence modifier is +0, so.
Yes, Johann is that's very generous. He's the smartest in his family, I think.
He's making full use of his 9th life.
Yeah.
All right.
Is good.
Tobias,
Johann.
you are in it now. So you are activated. What are you doing? I will tell you this right now. That gun is inoperable at this point. You do not have. Nobody in this party has the means to fix what has happened on turn 1 of this map. So you look around, you survey the scene. Like ears are ringing. Like, wait, where's Gregorz? Oh, I'm covered in Gregorz.
Oh no!
And
Oh no!
It's Gregor.
And
It's Gregon!
It's Gregoff.
Oh no!
Greg today, Greg off tomorrow.
And Tama is, still standing. You can tell that much, although everybody in this pit's looking a little worse for wear. So Tobias, you can hear your sergeant yelling up at you guys like join the line from down below in the trenches, that next line below you, as this emplacement is actually it's a tiered system. Like this hill's kind of rolling down with Spotter up at his Magitech gun a little bit above where you're kind of sitting, and then down below another step further is that first trench line. I will say you've got 3 actions. You could probably, use some moves to kind of get down and ready for when the enemy infantry shows up.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop. I can't move myself.
Sorry, Johan. It is Tobias's turn currently.
Oh, misunderstood.
Yeah. You had a
Okay.
high
So
initiative
sorry.
roll, but you come in at the top of the next.
Okay, it's midtime, so I'll look back and try to see if the cannon to my left is still working and try to get there to assist there.
Okay.
Tama, follow me, please.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, not yet. Unfortunately, you are still technically in combat. Okay, so you've used 2 move actions to get to the other gun?
No, 3 of my movement
Okay.
actions to get here because they have the cover in there from.
Yes.
So I have to get around it.
Yeah, perfect. So you are up and around, in behind the cover of the gun. You rush up. You see Spotter is he ain't doing so great on top. He's
Bleeding.
you don't know a lot about medicine because your medicine is essentially just like I give you the good touch. Like everybody loves pets.
Yes.
I love pets and pets are healing. But beyond that, my medical knowledge is reserved to petting. And the gods are... Ayamade is not with you at the moment. You've
I mean,
used up
I'm
your
trained in
sources.
medicine, but only in giving pats.
Yep. They're there. It'll all be all right. So that's your turn there. We're going to go next to Tama. Tama, what are you doing?
I will follow. I'm gonna head over the same. Or wait, that other cannon. Does that require 3 people to operate as well?
So that one's got some allied crew people on it already, so it's got a full crew. You guys could go up there if you wanted to, but you have been called down to like this eastern trench line to kind of like help defend it from when the landing craft that did survive shows up.
Okay. Yeah, I can't really help in terms of like healing or anything, so I'm gonna head down towards the trench, I guess.
I would head to the east.
To the east.
Yeah, to the east.
Right.
All right. So Tama, just describe the state of what you're in, because like you just watched, well, someone you knew just turned into, well, got ethered by a silly mistake, and it does happen. Whenever you're dealing with high explosives, there is that small possibility that you accidentally the whole thing. So as Tama is like kind of racing down towards the east, like how is she doing this? What's going through her head?
Yeah, I mean, she's obviously upset at being, splattered with her friend. But I doubt this is the first time that something like this has happened, so she's kind of just, chalking it up to, this is one of my 9 lives, and, you just gotta keep moving. So she's just trying to get on with business,
Somehow, somewhere, you just like kind of know, you have like this feeling that Phantasma has just like scratched like a life off the list with that last one, for Asthma rather. All right, Spotter, you're gonna make me a death saving throw.
I think I'm gonna take I think I'm also gonna take the
mulligan on this one and just say, hey,
I'm
you
gonna
know
take
what?
the mulligan. I think with the hit and just roleplay wise, because he was at the top of the gun, I think the fall was enough to.
Okay,
put
so
him in the
we'll say that Spotter, he's already been incredibly injured. He's been patched up a little bit, but it's not enough. And he had a little bit of moment where he's just like, he has a flashback to the high seas and the wind and the salty spray on his face and he can just he can't explain it, but he can see a red-haired woman in pirate's garb beckoning him towards the water as it all fades to black as he has a small vision of Bismara, goddess of pirates and the sea, a tribute to a life that he could have had but turned down the opportunity to. As it all fades to black on Spotter. What are you bringing in next, Ryan? Who is the next character?
Walking in, or I guess running in, definitely more of a volunteer than anything else, is a he is a Shuni. I'm bringing my dog. He is a Shuni, but he is a druid. He is a storm druid. This is Thundercaster. He is a or TC for short. He is an angler. He is part of the Shuni that enjoy fishing and stuff along those lines. And most fishermen talk about the one that got away. His is about the perfect storm because he is a storm druid.
I love that.
But
I
he's a
absolutely
dog
love that. What does he
he's a
look
dog with a
like?
fishing rod.
Because he is an anthropomorphized dog, and I love dogs. I'm connected to these Shuni characters in such a way, but I desperately need to know what kind of dog is TC.
Oh, TC's a sheepdog.
Oh, just big, scruffy. I can't see through the bangs. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of those that you don't know how he sees through it, but he does.
Okay, absolutely love it. I'm going to roll, well, actually, no, you're going to roll his initiative as I've put him into combat here, so that we can get his initiative order for the top of the next turn. Johann Katz.
That's me, yes. Yeah, das ist gut.
Das ist gut, ja.
That is cool.
Okay. So, Johann, what do?
Ja, bitte. Well, I'm going to, well, I cannot move myself.
Hold on one moment. Let
Oh,
me
there
just.
we go. I can now.
Let me. There you are.
Wunderbar. So I'm going to push up to assist Tama, my fellow cat person. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I will say that I absolutely love also the difference in like background for these two cat people. We have someone who's come like straight from the caravanserai, who's more like free-spirited and traditional cat person, and we have like this is what happens when the elves adopt a cat.
They've done that to me. It's true.
They have taught him to be proper.
They have, yeah, they have. It's true. I'm a proper Katze.
Yeah.
That is why my name is Johann Katz. Okay, I move up here. I am going to defend. I'm like, hello, I'm here. I'm not a pink mist like hypothetically other people.
And that's when
No one specific.
you notice your mentor, that sergeant, that grizzled sergeant from earlier, has rushed over from the west to try and shore up the east, noticing that there's a dearth of people. You know, they've been called over. There was an explosion on the crew-served weapon. And he goes, his name is Alf. What was his name? His name is Fritz. And
Yeah.
Fritz looks over to you and goes, Johann, good to see you.
Hello, Fritz.
You've missed all the fun. And he kind of like peeks up over the parapet and like fires his weapon. And you notice that like it has like a high-pitched whine and then this like crackle of lightning energy, as that's what the cantrip he's cast into it is, like Shocking Grasp, or it's a different name in the remaster, but some habits die hard. And he casts it, and there's this like lightning blue bolt that just kind of fires out, and you see one of those on top of the turtle ship. There's a hobgoblin spotter, and he just kind of like explodes into a crackling kind of like shrieking mess and
That
falls
will
off the
teach
side.
him.
And you've used all your movement to get up to where you're
Yeah.
at? Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
So that's going to bring us to the end of... actually, you know what? No, it's not. I'm going to let Thunder go as well before we end this turn. So, Thunder, where are you headed, buddy?
Gotta find a voice for them. So TC is gonna TC is gonna make his way up. How much movement do you have, homeboy? You've got
I think he's got 25.
too? Yeah.
Yeah, he's at 25.
15, 20, 25. How many?
So that's one move action.
Okay, cool. I can do another 25.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. So right here, right in front of me, I'm going to use a cantrip
Okay.
called Healing Plasters. I can purify some dirt and mud into a pliable clay-like plaster that can aid in clothing and healing, so everyone can have a little plaster to go out in the field with. This can be used in lieu of healers' tools and medicine checks. And it's good for 10 minutes, so everyone can just keep coming back to it.
All right, excellent.
It's a little bit of healing dirt. Rub some dirt in it.
Rub some dirt in it. And do you have to roll anything for that?
Nope, that is just the cantrip. That is a one.
spellcast and cantrip. Cantrip. I don't.
It's the only thing I've loaded. I haven't loaded it.
Okay. So here, give me 1 second here, and that's called what? That's called healing plaster.
Healing plaster.
All right.
Just
go ahead.
loading it. I have everything in Path Builder, and then I'm
Range
transferring
5 feet. Targets a handful of dirt or mud. Purify some mud. All right. This subs. Okay. So you can use that to gain a +1 item bonus to the medicine check of administer first aid or treat wounds.
Yep.
So I'm guessing that's what your next action is going to be on Tama.
And because I'm a druid.
Oh wait, hold on. Can't be this turn. You have taken 2 move actions and then cast a cantrip.
Yeah, it's me next. That'll be next turn, but it lasts for 10 minutes.
Yep.
And
Nope,
since I'm a
you're good.
druid, I have nature medicine, which makes it gives I use nature instead of medicine.
Excellent. All right. And with that, we are at the top of round 2, and we're going to have the one landing craft you did not destroy is showing up. There's also another artillery barrage. So I'm going to go ahead and roll some deviation as another kind of barrage comes in. And let us get a... Let's get ourselves a deviation and a template.
Dangerous.
Alright, and it's gonna land. Oh, Tobias, you are just inside of this larger shell. They've aimed again, kind of centrally.
It was time.
It was time. Roll a reflex save.
No!
A reflex. Here we go, guys.
I believe.
Nope. Not good enough. 19.
Ugh, okay, you're gonna take full damage. We're gonna roll these.
Don't worry, I had 2 HP.
Okay, so you're just gonna. Are you gonna do dying rolls for him, or are you just gonna scratch him and go with the next one?
Toby will look to the beach, remember the walkies, and just be annihilated.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Don't do me like that! No!
I didn't realize how
He
hard this
will
was gonna
just,
be. Yeah.
do this flinched movement while
No!
dying on the floor.
No! Ah!
That's mean.
It's always hardest to
One
kill the
dog down.
shoeys. As you know what, Tobias, you have. You know what? You didn't see what happened to. Wait, no, you did see what happened to Jag, and you have this one small moment of peace, knowing that you'll be doing walkies together wherever you
Yes.
are.
I'm not ready for this dog.
Oh man! Oh.
For the great walkie in the
Who's
sky.
next?
So
I
I
don't
will.
want to be next anymore.
Brian, what character's coming out now?
I'm gonna be wacky and I will use my gnome gunslinger now.
All right, cool. His name is
Magnus.
Magnus Crad. That's right.
His name is Little Magnus. Yeah.
Okay, little Magnus. Oh goodness. Okay. I'll let you have a turn here real quick because that's what I've been doing with everybody else. But first, I need you to make me an initiative roll so that I can figure out where you're going to be properly next turn.
Yep. There we are.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, functionally, this doesn't change anything. He's still going to be able to take his 3 actions right away right now to join the rest of you if he wants. So.
Great. So I will march forward, trying to get to the beach.
All right, excellent. You have a land speed of 25 feet, so you'll be able to move 75. If you take all your move actions, should be more than enough to get you down there.
Yep. Feel free to move me if you want to. I'm trying to do so.
Sorry. No. I gotta make it.
Don't worry.
All
No
good.
problem.
All good. I will measure it out and move you down there because we are all still learning.
Yeah, don't worry.
You know what? I'm just gonna DM Fiat this or GM Fiat.
Heimdall,
Boom.
teleport me. There we are.
Boom! You now appear like just running up to the front. Like, okay, tell us me a little bit about Magnus. What's he look like? What's his background?
He looks like a kid with a torch, a flare gun, and some industrial glue couple up something together that he calls a gun.
I love this. And like part of the gnomes thing is that they're pranksters, and they always love to also individualize everything. the Celestian Conclave has tried to get the gnomish people to, submit to military doctrine and orders, which is a uniform, but the gnomes are like, well, if we all look different, you'll know what we'll look like. And
Yeah, and that's like normie speaking, and I do not speak that language.
Yep.
So
And so you've got the green color that's like shows that you're part of the conclave, but like you're wearing like a huge sapper's apron on top of that, filled with all sorts of like gizmos and gadgets and stuff, and like different components for your very special gun. Because
And
I believe you're a
squeaky
spell shot gunslinger, aren't you not?
yeah, but it will show up eventually if Magnus lives.
Fair enough. Okay. Back to the top of the order here, but before we do that, unfortunately, I have to introduce you to the dismounts from that landing ship. So, out of it pile quite a few kind of like hobgoblins here now. You're going to have to just ignore the names in the VTT as they're going to come up as goblin commandos. But they are kind of unloading from the ship. You've got some goblin commandos, a goblin pyro, and then led by a hobgoblin officer. And at the forefront of all this was an orc war chief. Now, I think this is kind of neat for our purposes, but as you watch them dismount, right, like we discussed, the hobgoblins are wearing kind of like shiny, like shined to a like glorious finish metal armor, and like very uniform. They're all kitted out the same way in like a very organized society, like they like. The orc war chief comes out looking like a samurai with like a big like oni mask on them, as they're a kind of proud warrior culture with their like kind of laminate armor and wielding like a big naginata as he kind of descends out of the boat. And pertinently, you notice like the goblin mask kind of shoots forward, like they start coming out of both sides, and someone takes a shot again. Fritz takes another shot with his Magitech rifle straight at the orc war chief, who promptly picks up the goblin besides him and uses him as a shield, tosses him aside, and continues walking forwards. This seems to faze absolutely no one. As we move into initiative order with Thunder TC Caster, your good initiative roll there as a good boy of 25 is put you at the top of our party's initiative. What are you doing?
See, here's the thing. He's way too far out.
I will say that in order to shoot out of this trench, you should be you're not at the firing ports. You got to be like on that firing line. If you want to charge out of the trench, that's a different story.
That's for people with higher AC than me. But what I will do, I would actually like to delay and return to the order later.
Okay.
Because he is a support. I can't do much in the going first.
All right, fair enough. We'll move next to the initiative order. That'd be Johann Katz.
Okay. Well, I've got my saber, probably, some sort of proper saber for the fighting, but I don't think I have any guns. So, I'm going to move into a position to be ready to kind of resist them at the trench line itself. So, when they go to climb over, I'll fight them there. That's the plan. Otherwise, I don't have too much to do right now.
Okay.
Let's see if I have anything else that might be useful. I don't.
Now you can ready an action. Say if they manage to make it to the to like your range, that you can like attack them.
Yeah, I'm just ready an attack, honestly.
Okay. All right. We'll ready an attack action and
ready to slash at one when they come over the side.
Absolutely love it. A very reasonable and rational thing to do. Okay. Next in the order, we've got Tama.
And I'm gonna do something similar. I'm gonna move up into position in the trench, and I'm gonna get ready to throw some knives once they get a little bit closer.
Okay, readying a throwing knife action. Love it. All right. Next we have Magnus.
Okay, so I do not see my gunslinger way inside the BTT, but just FYI, I have an extra damage thingy from a couple of turns. So don't worry about it. I'm far away, so I will try to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll use 2 of my movement actions and then take out a dread ampule from my satchel and be ready to throw it whenever the enemy is nearby. So I will look back to my friends and be careful, this is gonna get boom. And that's it.
Excellent, and you'll notice this like the sergeants in the line steady, wait till you can see the lights of their eyes before you fire, or I guess the greens in a goblin's case, or the reds, or the varied colors that come through the goblin eyes as it's now. Before we get into proper initiative order here, I'm going to have them move. I'm just going to make sure I've got all their speeds correct. All right, they're following doctrine here. They're going to make 2 move actions. I'm going to move them up to here. As all of them are charging at you. Now, who readied a ranged attack? Was that... we got Magnus ready to ranged attack, and Tama did. What are your ranges on those? Let's just see really quickly.
So give me a second. I have a dread ampule that the range, if I'm correct, is 20 feet.
Alright, so... you are 20 feet to the first goblin, but you can choose to hold that action if you'd like.
Yep.
Okay, excellent. They're going to use... you know what? I've got a goblin commando who's got a land speed of 25. He's going to make his move action up to here. We've got another goblin commando, here being right in front of Tama to like the northwest, just about 5 feet away from you, up to the breach, getting real close. That would provoke your readied action if you would like to throw that throwing knife at this goblin that's coming right up to the parapet.
So it's Tama's throwing thingy.
Yeah, sorry, hold on, let me just make it... there we go. Alright, Tama, you're gonna throw your knife.
Yes. Sorry, that is...
So you would make, if you click on your... we're gonna assume you had this drawn already. So if you go into your character sheet, you go to actions. Drawing is typically a one action, and in the future we will adhere to that. So if you need to switch weapons, swap, or whatever, that'll take you an action. But we'll say that you have your throwing knife out. You can make a strike with it. So you just go ahead and click that strike button, and that will be your attack.
Gotcha.
All right, so 17 on the die, plus 7 is 24. That is definitely going to beat the AC. It's not quite a crit. So go ahead and roll damage.
Tamash.
All right, so that's going to be 5 points of damage to that Goblin Commander. Like, as it comes up and Tama just whips a knife and it just plunges straight into him. The Hobgoblin, doesn't flinch in the face of this and continues its assault, but it has been impacted by your readied action. Let's just see here. This other Goblin Commando has a move action left. He's going to move up right in Magnus's face as he's going to get ready to attack you next turn. This other Goblin, this Goblin Pyro, is going to move up beside him, and let's see here, this other Goblin Commando is going to end up within arms, is going to jump into the trench beside Johan, wanting to be first into the breach and gain glory.
Aha!
Yes, activating your trap card. So
That
go
will
ahead.
teach you.
Go ahead and make me your strike. I believe we need to give you a rapier, though.
Yeah, bitte.
So let me just get that going here. And there we go, and then we'll just make that equipped on you, and boom! Because I don't think it makes any sense for you to ready an action without the necessary component being to hand,
Yeah,
if you
having
will.
the actual weapon, yeah.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll that.
Jawohl!
Excellent. So that is a 19 plus 4, 23. That is going to beat that Goblin Commando's AC, so give me that damage roll.
I slash him. That will teach him. Okay, let's see this
Ruffy.
weapon.
Click the damage button for 1d6 plus 1 piercing damage is what you're going to be doing there.
Where? Oh, I have to go down a little bit.
So if you go to your actions, your attacks, there'll be the rapier right there, and if you go, there's a handy dandy damage button there.
It's not appearing. Oh, I look so embarrassing now.
It will be right next to your character on the sheet. It is in those small little actions. It is going to be the rhombus icon.
Ein Minuten. Don't look at me. Trying to get this open, but it's not happening.
It's okay. In the meantime, you can double click your token to open it up.
That'll work. Okay, so should we see actions, weapons, the damage. Bam.
Boom! All right, and you deal 4 points of damage to that that Goblin Commando who has just hopped into the trench with you. The Orc War Chief is going to kind of pivot. He's going to run up in kind of behind his chaff as he did earlier, and then this Hobgoblin Archer is going to take a shot. Now they have like these because firearms are too expensive to equip Hobgoblin chaff troops with. They are given like these almost vertical styled crossbows that have kind of almost like modern housing on them, like almost backlight on it, and it's got a magazine and everything. So it will not require a reload action. But he is going to use his last action to fire that crossbow at, I believe, let's see the range increment here. Oh yeah, no, well within the range increment of 120, and he is going to make that strike roll at Taba.
No.
That is going to be a nat 1, so he critically fumbles that and
9
Like,
lives,
Lost in the
baby.
back.
just way out of there. And that is going to be all their turns. We're going to return to the top of the order. And
Can I take my turn?
yes, that's right. You delayed. My apologies
Yes,
there,
I did.
TC.
I know I'm good. I would like to use my first movement. It's not my turn in the combat, but I would just like to move like here.
Oh, there. Hold on. Let me activate Thunder TC Caster. Okay, so move.
Is this like an elevated position up here?
Up where you're at is actually under, like, it's the opposite.
It's the
You need to
opposite.
be up on that, like, kind of lighter soil that you see there. That kind of, like, represents where the firing line is.
3, 4. Not sure it will be that close, but sure, why not? Amazing. I'm going to. TC is gonna pull out a fishing rod, and you're gonna see him whip it around, and he is going to use his Tempest Surge. It is his primal focus from
Okay.
For being a storm druid. So I need that goblin, or whatever that man is in front of us, to make a basic reflex save.
Yeah, I was gonna say. All right, so if he fails it, that's gonna deal 1d12 electricity damage, and the failure.
I'm gonna be. This doesn't use a resource.
All right.
You get.
Okay, that'll be clumsy 2 for 1 round if he fails it. Let's give ourselves that reflexes save. Okay, your class DC is 17, and this Goblin Commando is going to make the save, so he's not going to become clumsy. But I don't think he takes. He's going to take, I think, the full damage. I think on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the difference is if he was clumsy or not.
Yeah, that would be it. So roll the 1d12 damage on that one.
Alright.
Oof.
Oh, if it roll one more
Minimum
ones, I'm gonna
damage,
cry.
and it rolls a 1 on the damage. TC surges, implores, the spirits of the water and the storm to help him with his friends. His thick fur shakes around. You can hear this kind of static electricity building, and then it kind of like fizzles a little bit. Although it does manage to like startle the goblin a little bit, and you can see like the electricity crackles across his metal armor. It does not do the damage that you were hoping for, and we are now at the top of the initiative again. And from the back here, this hobgoblin archer is like, he's going to take an action now because of his natural one to try and clear the jam out of his crossbow, which is hilarious that a crossbow has managed to jam, but it is a magazine-fed one, so it does make sense. So I'm going to roll his flat check for that. And let's see. Okay, so he's succeeded at clearing the jam, so he's going to be able to fire it. He's going to fire this time. He's going to keep firing at Tama. That was his original intention. So he is going to roll his strike. And Tama, your AC is 17. He's rolled a 19, so he is going to impact. And he is going to do roll his damage, which is 1d8 plus 2 piercing. It's going to do 9 damage. Tama is down. And you can choose to roll your dying rolls, or I will let you mulligan and go to the next character.
Nah, Tama's not going down without a fight. What do I need to roll?
Okay, so let's just do this. We're going to do that. We're going to give you a dying condition. Okay, so let's just see here. All right, while you have this condition, you are unconscious. Dying always includes a value. If it ever reaches 4, that's it. You're done. While you're dying, you must attempt a recovery check at the start of your turn each round to determine whether or not you get better or worse. It will also increase if you take damage while dying, or if you critically fail, it will advance 2 steps. Oh no! I don't want to increase that. Let's not go all out here. But we will go to that once we get back to your turn in initiative. As Hobgoblin has used 2 of its actions, it's now going to use its next action. It's going to take a shot at TC. It's going to apply the map, having seen that it's put Tama down. It's going to take its first roll with that -5. It's going to hit, and we're going to roll some damage. With a 24, it's going to hit you. And that is going to be 6 points of damage on Thunder TC Caster. And Tama is down, but Thunder could do something about that on his turn in initiative, and it just so happens to be his turn in initiative.
Fantastic. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to hit Johann Katz with this, because I'm going to go ahead and burn the heal I have. I'll use all three.
I'm not injured, so you're fine.
Fantastic. I'm going to use all 3 pips on this spell. So it's a 30-foot emanation. If the target is a willing creature, you restore 1d8 hit points. And if you're healing a living creature, you increase by 8. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. What cost? Heal versus living. 3. Roll damage / healing. Roll. Everybody gets 7 HP back.
Amazing.
Okay, excellent. So, Tama, congratulations, you're back up. Well, you're prone, but you're conscious.
Thank you, TC.
You're welcome.
Magnus has not been hurt yet. Johann Katz has not been hurt yet. Now, that's a 30-foot emanation, right?
Yes.
Does that not also heal?
It's target set.
Oh, okay, it's targeted? Okay, good. So I was about to say, that would have just healed all the
No,
enemies
I
as
mean,
well.
I definitely looked at willing and targeted.
All right. So this is what we're gonna do.
And with the emanation, does that count myself as well?
Yeah, that counts yourself as well. So you're also gonna heal. I believe. Actually, hold on. Let me double check the rules on that. I don't know, but in the interest of keeping this moving, I will say that. All right. So you actually hold on here with 3 pips, or did you use 2 pips?
I used 3.
Okay, with 3, this heals all living and undead creatures in the burst, centered on you.
Ah.
So this will also heal the goblins that are nearby to you.
I think it's worth it.
It was worth it. It was worth it. It brought your friend back up, and none of them really had much damage. So, okay. Let's go back to that. Excellent. All done here. All right. All right. So.
Everyone's up.
Perfect. So is that would be everything that you can do? Wait a second.
Yeah, that's
Wait a
all
second.
three
Hold on.
tips, yep.
You didn't. Yeah, because you didn't move this turn. All you did was do the burst heal. Excellent. Okay. So Thunder TC Caster, you give this big shake, and you weren't wet, but you know when a dog shakes, you get that like fine spray if their fur is like heavy enough. You give this big shake. And this fine spray of like green kind of like natural aura kind of comes off of you and spritzes everybody around you, and they feel a lot better about everything. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay, I feel better now. All right, so now we're going to the next in the order. That would be the Goblin Pyro. He's carrying 2 torches, and he is going to make 2 strike attacks. Against, let's see here. Well, Magnus is the only one that he can reach here right now. So let's go ahead and do that. And I think I need to also remove the dying condition from Tama real quick. Boom. Boom. Oh, yeah, I gotta leave you prone and off guard though. Okay, so Goblin Pyro is going to make his 2 attacks. Let's make them real quick. Okay. Magnus, what is your AC? I'm curious.
18.
18? Okay, so he's going to make all 3 of his attacks. He just kind of like goblin windmills this and just absolutely whiffs it, biffs it. Every single attack. Like, it's just like stabs with the torch. Magnus goes to the right.
Like MC Hammer.
Yeah, exactly. Slide to the left, slide to the right, and then you cha-cha real smooth. Yep. Well, that's not MC Hammer, but you know what I mean. And you manage to avoid any damage from that pyro. Okay. Johan would be next in the initiative order, but Alex had to step away for a second, so what I'm going to do is this instead. His ally, Fritz, is going to take a small, quick turn in the interim here to, cast a quick bolt of ignition into his Magitech rifle, causing it to pulsate orange as it enhances the spell. It starts refracting inside of it, and then he's going to take a shot at, let's just say, this goblin commando that is standing right next to Johann Katz. So I'm just going to roll that real quickly here.
Pew pew.
Okay, so with that, with an adjusted hit of 30, he blows through, hits the crit point on this goblin commando, and keep in mind that ignition typically is not that powerful a spell, but this thing just gets hit with this and just immolates to shreds, you say. Picture, instead of like a combustion or an explosion, it's more like he is combusting at the atomic level. Like, I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark, and just kind of into dust right in front of Johann Katz there. So that will be one of those goblins down. Johann, it's now your turn.
Yeah, sorry about that. Okay.
Oh, no, it was very profitable.
So, I'm going to... Yeah, it was worth it, right? So, I'm going to move forwards along the wall to assist Magnus here. Give some assistance. And then we are going to use a precise strike. Oh no, I need panache for that. Can't do that yet. Never mind, I was wrong. So I'll just do a normal swing because I need to succeed at a swing proper here first to get my panache going.
All right, let's get that panache.
Well, actually, I did hit the melee.
You did hit the melee in the last round.
Let me see how panache works exactly. I'm new at the swashbucklers.
And I am new to GMing swashbucklers. So this is going to be a good learning experience for us both.
If you do crazy things like tumble through, you can gain panache based on what I know, and depending on the swashbuckler that you are, you also can gain panache with different like intimidation, deception, depending on what
I'm a fencer.
Johan is.
Yeah. So, believe it or not, you have enough movement, and I'm going to let you kind of go back because this is your first time playing the class. You could have attempted a tumble through action, which is striding up to your max speed. During this movement, you can try to move through the space of one enemy. Attempt an acrobatics check against the enemy's reflex DC, and you can tumble through it instead of striding through it. You kind of do a climb or a fly or swim, or whatever's appropriate. If you're successful, you move through their space, treating the square as difficult terrain, so it costs you 10 feet of movement to get through them. And if you don't have enough speed to get through the space, that's the same as treating it as a failure. On a failure, your movement ends and you trigger reactions as if you had moved out of the square you started in. If you don't, though, you get to move through with no penalty. They don't get an AOO.
Could I climb up this wall and like stand on top of the wall and fight on the wall? Swinging down at them
like arrow flimit.
Yeah, balancing on the sandbags there.
Here's in order to get the panache, you would have to tumble through them. If I understood
No, it can be any sort of actions with a bit of flair, which includes tumble through.
Oh, okay, or determined at my discretion. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna let you do
it. If it is crazy enough, he can do it.
I'm gonna let you do it, and I will give. Do an acrobatics check for the leap.
Okay.
Please don't whiff.
He's got a pretty good acrobatics modifier, so he should be okay with a +7 on that. So there you go. An 18, you succeed.
Yeah.
Leap up to the top, run along it, and then slash at this one with mine, in which I will do the precise strike with my panache. Deal 2 additional with precision damage, and and it's not part of a finisher, so we don't have to worry about that. It's just a normal attack using my thing. Oh no, I can burn it with my confident finisher, which we'll do. So I'll burn the panache, but make this confident finisher attack. So I have to roll, make a strike with a weapon, apply my precise strike damage, and then it'll potentially go away. But I deal half my precise damage if I fail.
Okay, so, let's do this.
Doing damage regardless. So, we'll take it.
Swash that buckle.
Yeah, we're gonna swash his buckle, all right. Gosh darn.
All right, with a 16, that is going to, you know what? Oof. Okay, so that is just so shy. He gets his shield up just in time, but because you still do some damage, we're gonna say, this hobgoblin gets his shield up just in time. It skitters across the shield though, and still gets him a little bit in the cheek and the face area. So let's do some damage.
Get my what is my half of my?
Just roll the damage, and then there's a button that will allow us to half it.
Oh no! I think how it works is I have a precise damage, which is 2 additional damage at this current.
Yeah, you deal 2 additional damage.
He'll get one slash to him.
Hey, you know what? 1 is better than none.
I slash across his cheek as like an insult over his shield. That will teach you filthy animal.
There you go, and you strike out and you strike across his shield, and it does skitter across and hit his cheek. And now we are... is that going to be your turn, or do you have one more? You can make another attack, but it'll be at the map.
We'll take another attack. Why not?
Oh, the map.
All right, so you can just click that +2 because you have that -5 from the map. You'll still get that +2 bonus.
So wait. Explains this for me.
All right, so in Pathfinder,
+2, map -5.
Yeah. So actually, if you go into your actions,
Yeah, I see it right there.
yeah, there you go. So just click that one, and that will give you the adulterated roll that you need. 14, still not going to be high enough. Stab, but the goblin is keeping up with you as you fight on the parapet.
Okay, we're keeping him busy. Magnus, shoot him!
Or something.
Yes. Yeah.
Or something!
All right, that's going to be our Goblin Commando over on the west side here. That's in front of Tama and TC Caster, who is in melee range. And Tama's just gone down. Tama's on the ground. This Goblin Commando's like, nah, that cat is dead. I'm going to go after the dog. And he is
Don't
going.
have to. That's cool.
He is going to jump into the trench with you there, TC. With his step action, and he is going to attack you with his horse chopper. He's going to swing twice. And let's see what happens here. Okay, so on the first one, that is absolutely not okay. That is going to be. It's not going to matter what the second one is. He rolled a net 1, fumbling. Quite bad, and I'm going to have him miss that next action as a result. As he comes down with the horse chopper, gets it stuck, and is having to pull it out of the trench as right in front of you as he's missed, he's whiffed it bad. Orc War Chief's turn here. He is going to make a move action up to Johan. He's going to join the fray here. And he is going to attack with. Okay, so I did say he has a Naginata, but I don't have that equipped to this monster, so I'm just going to...
Also, can I get Johan, can I have his padded armor thing?
Yes. I should have given you that.
It doesn't matter. that won't matter now.
Yeah, I don't think it matters much at the moment, but we're going to still give it to you anyways. Oof. Alright, so he's gonna hit you, he's gonna do some damage. It's not. It could be worse.
Spread.
Okay, so you're gonna take. Let's see here, you're gonna take 6 damage from the first attack. And he's gonna try it again with the map.
You don't have to.
No, he doesn't have to, he wants to. But he's gonna miss! Okay. He's gonna miss with that quilted armor. The first attack comes down, gets you pretty good because you're busy dealing with the commando, but you've shifted and you parry the second one as it comes down, avoiding any damage to yourself, and getting yourself a look of good, he learned a good lesson from me, from Fritz.
Ruffians.
As we go to...
as an aside, I have Nimble Dodge.
Oh, yes.
So I get a +2 circumstance bonus. When a creature is targeting me with an attack and I can see the attacker, I get +2 circumstance bonus to AC.
Oh, excellent. It would not have mattered on the first hit, unfortunately.
That was that one, but for future.
But for future, thank you for letting me know. That's going to come up and it's going to be important. It definitely, if that second one was a little bit higher, that would have edged it even closer up. So that's important. So every little bit helps.
Important to know for future.
It's going to be our Middle Goblin Commando's turn here. He's kind of stuck in between... but he's going to make a strike first at Magnus. That ancient animosity between dwarves, not dwarves, but goblins and gnomes. All right, so that is going to be a 25 to hit. That's going to hit, so he's going to roll the damage, and then he's going to take. All right, so it's going to be 9 points of damage on Magnus. He's going to try again. He's going to try and spread the love to Johan. This time with the map. You have that +2 circumstance bonus. It's not going to hit. You parry that as well. And I probably shouldn't say that because I think there is a parry action that the Swashbuckler has. But I feel like that AC doesn't just represent you dodging. It represents your character's ability to avoid taking actual damage beyond superficial damage. So, and he's going to take his last attack at Johan with the big bonus, and whiffs it too. So we're going to Magnus. Finally,
I'm bleeding. I do not like this. This is a bad joke. So, say hello to my little friend, and I fire to the goblin that just.
Okay, I love that. All right, make me your attack with that dueling pistol.
Yep.
As a wise man once said, Alex,
18?
blam!
That is going to hit.
Okay. So there we are. Add 1 extra point of damage from the spell shot thingy that it is not in BTT, so it's 4 points of damage.
Right, so we'll do that. He's taken 4 points of damage as you just bang. It's not a huge caliber, but it does slow him down. And
It's my little pea shooter, and I will do with my second action a thoughtful reload. So I will reload my gun as well as making a knowledge, a recall knowledge check, if it is something that I can get from them. If not, just reloading, it's okay.
Roll me for that recall knowledge check. Let's see here. Roll me society or any other lore you can make a strong case for.
We live in one.
Let's go with society.
Okay, roll me
Fuck
a
it.
society roll.
Hey. So 19.
Okay, with that, I can give you that they don't have any like weaknesses or resistances that you know of. You know that they don't have a lot of HP, these commandos. You know they don't have a lot of, like, their AC is similar to your guys's. You know they come equipped with, like, a horse chopper, which is this kind of, like, reach weapon with 10 feet of reach. It's got trip. It's a versatile weapon, so it can do piercing damage if they switch it up. And you know that they also have, like, a short bow to, like, you know, fire before they you know, show up in combat. So I'll give you that.
Great, and I will use my second action with the map to fire again against the same goblin.
Oh, I love that. All right, let's do that.
That's a 6.
That is a 6. Okay, perfect. That is not going to hit, unfortunately. Bang, and this time he's got his big round shield up. Bang, ricochets off into the distance. All right, so Magnus, that is all of your actions there? Okay. Am I missing anybody in our initiative order here? I feel like I am. I feel like I'm missing Tama in our initiative order. We're going to add you back to combat here. At the bottom, Tama, you're going to use an action to stand up, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay, so I will... why did I do that? I will remove your off guard and prone conditions.
Thank you. All right. And just taking like a 5-foot step, is that a free action?
That's not a free action, so you can take a 5-foot step and then attack.
Okay. But it's also an action to draw my scimitar, right?
I'll say that your scimitar is already drawn, just for the sake that, like, I don't feel like... oh, wait, you drew you had the throwing knives out earlier.
I did.
They're both one-handed weapons, so I'll allow it that you've had this scimitar out if you want to go up and attack.
Cool. I will do that. I will go up and I will
Stab him.
stabby stab or slashy slash.
These sessions are already brutal enough. I don't need to take even more from you. All right, so... Oh, sorry, that's because I need to do this. There you go. Now you're... There you go.
15?
15 is unfortunately not going to cut the mustard on this one, so you attack. I'll say that you hit the goblin. It's just that you managed to hit him, like, right on the shoulder, like, pad or something, and it doesn't do meaningful
sort of
damage.
bounces off.
Yeah, like ping. All right. So I believe stood up, moved, attacked. So that'd be your turn. All right, excellent.
Yes.
We're gonna, at the top of round 4, we'll have a brief ally interaction whereby you guys are all doing this fighting, right? Like, you see this hobgoblin archer's like, he's reloading his crossbow. He's got the magazine ready. He's like cleared the misfire. He's lining up a shot at Tama, and then just as he's lining that shot up, he goes down. But this time from a spell shot from the western flank, as a Celestian Conclave sharpshooter has managed to hit their shot. They actually had loaded a shocking grasp into theirs. It's going to be another one of those, like, electricity hits. And let me just roll the damage. Okay, that's going to be that's going to be 16 points of damage on that hobgoblin archer. He's going to do a couple more shots. All right, that one's also going to be hit, even despite the map. 46. All right, so, like, some withering fires coming off from the western flank. That's going to help you guys out. Let's just bring that down. He's been hit again. 2 of those big, huge shots. He rolls the third one. He misses the third one because that third map penalty is actually quite rough.
It's heavy.
And now the Hobgoblin Archer activates. It is going to be its turn. Let's see what he's got here. Okay, so he's got a running reload feat, so he is going to actually run over here because he's trying to get out of that fire. And you know what? He's going to make another move action even to get into the trench. And then he's going to fire at TC Caster for his last bit there. He's going to make that ranged attack.
Does Pathfinder have that cool, like, firing into the fray thing that Pathfinder 1 does? There's an alley next to me.
Actually, let me just check that, because I should know that, and I don't off the top of my head, so let me just...
It's worth a shot.
I believe it does, though. I believe there's a flat check to see if I hit an ally or not.
Yeah, hit your brother. Unless it's like a spell where it's actually targeted, you know?
Alright, let me just take a look at this real quickly. Okay, so you get a +1 circumstance bonus to AC, it looks like.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, okay, so... Oh, wait. I think that would only... Yeah, alright, you know what? I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. You get a +1 circumstance bonus to AC. It's not going to matter, unfortunately.
It's not.
Because... Oof, okay.
No AC.
Yeah, alright. So he's rolled that. Okay. Oh, that was so close to being a crit. That +1 actually pushed it back down into being a normal hit. So... Woo!
Woo!
Alright.
We take that.
We roll Zidamage. Alright, you're going to take 7 points of damage
Okay.
from that attack. Thunk as he is shot into you. And now it's going to be your turn, Thunder.
Fantastic. Okay. Move 1. For 1... I would like to shove this goblin back over the wall.
Now, one thing that I could suggest is that flanking is very much so a thing in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. So you could take a 5-foot step and sandwich that commando.
Yeah, but I need my other 2 pips this time.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna attempt a shove action.
Yeah, just if I could shove his ass back over the wall, or maybe use the wall to like trip him over.
All right, let me just see here. So, shove action. Attempted athletics check against their fortitude DC.
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
You know, everyone knows his strong suit, strength.
You've got it.
He is a big boy.
Yeah, but he's. Okay, 3, 2, 1. 16.
Let me see here. Oh Jesus! I think that's
17.
That's 17.
Well.
Or his DC. So you shove him. He gets close. He takes that step back, but he takes that step back forwards. So you got 2 more actions.
Punk. All right. Seeing the big mamma jamma over there. I think this is a problem. This man's over here is a problem. So I'm gonna spend my other first level spell slot on Thunderstrike on the mamma jamma.
All right, you're going to cast Thunder Strike with 2-action John there. It would provoke, but they don't have an AOO because they don't attack you. So you're going to deal 1d12 electricity and 1d4 sonic. The basic reflex save to see. Okay, so a basic reflex save I do believe halves it for the future.
Yes,
is
but
what
he has
I'm.
-1 circumstance bonus because he's wearing metal.
All right, and you're doing this to the Orc War Chief, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so he's gonna make that reflex save at a -1. Oh, and he flubs it! Okay, what is the DC for you? It is 17. Oh, okay, so he rolled an 8, so he was very close to that critical fail, but he only fails it. So he's gonna take full damage, and I believe, so that's gonna be the 1d12 and the 1d4. Sonic and electricity.
And he's clumsy 1 for 1 round.
Clumsy 2 for 1 round.
No, and if damaged by the spell is clumsy 1.
Okay, so he's going to take his...
My tempest is clumsy too.
6 damage here, and I'm going to give him clumsy 2. There we go.
For those of you guys wondering what clumsy does, it makes his deck stuff bad. So
Yeah, his reflex saves are going to be worse. Okay,
Good.
boom. That's done. TC, you're done. Pyro Goblin is... well, no one ever accused goblins of being rational, intelligent creatures. He's going to use a step to step down in here. I believe... Oh, no, he's going to step down in here, and he is going to make his 2 melee attacks with his torches. Okay, so Magnus, does a 14 I know doesn't hit, but I think your AC is 18, right? So this 21 will.
Yep.
Okay, so he's going to hit you with that torch. Luckily it wasn't, like, this one's kind of, like, lost its fieriness, because goblin maintenance being what it is, he's only got 1 torch that's on fire, the other one's kind of not. So you're only going to take 2 damage from that. 2 bludgeoning.
okay.
So you're going to
Okay.
drop down to 7 HP.
Yeah.
Okay,
There
there
we
we go. There we go. And then it's going to be...
I appreciate the healing, but I'm dying.
Johann Katz.
Okay. So, with us, you're getting surrounded a little bit here.
Ja,
That's okay.
bitte.
That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. We will hold on to it for them. Yeah. We simply must defend the area.
Big one.
I will strike the war chief with my sword.
Ja.
So I can't really think of anything else more important to do at the moment. We strike him. Jawohl. That's not good.
That is not very good, no. So that's not going to cut that's not going to cut it.
What?
Go ahead and if you want to make more strikes, you're more than welcome to, because his AC is impacted by his dexterity being
Yeah,
low.
we're gonna give one more. Heck it. Get him.
Ah!
No.
Oof.
9.
Now, later in the
that's-
campaign, I will probably get a critical fumble deck. For now, I'm just making it that a critical fumble will cost you an action, which is
Okay,
probably
but that turn's
the
done.
kindest
Johan
I could be with
is
that.
being beaten by the samurai orc.
Yup.
Beaten by a weave.
Turns
Our-
out a conscripted cat dude is not up to snuff with a hardened orcish warrior.
His poor little brain cell is doing all it can, being an
Dude,
orange
he's
toy.
trying, man. He's an orange cat. He's doing his best.
All right, and we will go to the Goblin Commando over on that's sandwiched between Tama and TC. He can't do much besides just fight the both of y'all. So he's gonna start with a strike at Tama, then a strike at Magnus, then a strike at Tama. So first strike at Tama is gonna be a nat 1. So he's gonna make only one other strike at Magnus, and he's gonna miss Tama again with this. Not a very agile goblin, this guy. He's hit another trench wall. He's trying to make this pole arm work for him, and it's just not happening. As he rolls another, unfortunately, this one is going to hit Thunder,
Damn it.
because I don't believe you have a higher than 22 AC,
Oh,
not
God,
level
no.
1. So he is going to roll the damage, which is going to be 1d8 plus 3 slashing. It's going to be 5 damage.
I'm still up, baby.
And he's still up. Our big boy is still up.
He's still up.
Bringing us to the next in the initiative order, which is the Orc War Chief.
Oh no.
He is still clumsy. He is
How's it
still clumsy. He
We
is.
got off on the wrong foot, you know?
He is going to make.
Well, I didn't hit you the last 2 times, so...
Okay, so he's going to make a battle cry with his first, just a pure, and there's nothing to this. It's kind of like just like just a generic scream. So all of his allies within 60 feet, which is all of them, are going to get a +1 circumstance bonus to damage rolls and attack rolls until the start of his next turn, and he's going to give it to himself as well. So he's going
He
to
doesn't
do.
need to.
Nobody wants to.
Oh damn.
Um,
Can't be that.
So he's going to battle cry. He's going to give everybody that, and then he's going to do some striking. First, he's going to start against Johan. He's going to take his strikes.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
Okay, let's take a look at what's going to happen here. With the first one, actually, you know what? Believe it or not, dude whiffs both thanks to that clumsy. So
that's what you get.
So the clumsiness has truly helped out. He staggers, he takes one big swing and then another big swing, but it's clearly not technique. It's emotion that's taken over now, and he whiffs both of them. We'll go to the next one, which is going to be the Goblin Commando right next to him, who is going to. You know what? I'm going to roll something really quickly for him because they don't have great morale, and you know what? He's got that battle cry. Let's just see here. Okay, so he's going to attack Magnus. He succeeds his morale check. He's going to roll with his horse chopper. First attack. Magnus's AC is 18, right? Or am I incorrect? Yeah, no, it's 18. So he misses the first attack. He's going to make another with the map. And he whiffs it on a nat 1, so he can't attack. He can't make his last attack. These pole arms were a miscalculation for this environment.
The failure of the enemy will be our benefit.
Ja, bitte. All right, Magnus.
Okay. I see the goblin that we are in kind of a stalemate, so I lock eyes with him and I raise my gun and just get really, really creepy and mad and serious. I will put this fucking gun when the sun does not shine, you little fucker, and I will try to intimidate and demoralize them with my first action.
Yeah,
okay.
You tell them what
so
for.
Roll your intimidate against their will save DC.
16.
Let me just see here. That is actually going to succeed. They have their will save DC is 15, so they are going to be demoralized. Well, this guy's going to be demoralized.
I will put the fear of guns into you. With my second action,
or does it make them frightened? Actually, I believe.
Frightened 1.
Yeah, frightened 1. Okay, so is that on everybody in earshot?
No, it's just with only one target.
Excellent. So you do that. You threaten him. You get all in his face, and
that's with my first action. My second action, I will reload my gun because it's not loaded, and the third action, I will fire this fucker.
Unfortunately, that's going to provoke an attack of opportunity from the Orc War Chief.
I know.
He is the one there that does have one of those, so he is going to strike.
I had to.
Yeah, you had to. No, I get it. The choice was the action economy, right? You could step back, whatever. He is going to hit you, and he's going to roll his damage with that.
I will use my unexpected shift as a reaction.
Oh.
I have this thingy.
Yes.
I need to do a.
If you would take damage, okay, so
a flat check.
Yep, DC 16 flat check.
18.
Oh, hell yeah. Woo. So you gain resistance and a +2 circumstance bonus to saving throws. You don't need the saving throw, but that resistance has effectively saved your life on the damage, taking it from 8 damage to 4, which doesn't put you down.
I will survive.
And I believe you get a strike because that was only your reaction. So.
Yep. So I fire to this goblin, and let's see. Fuck, 16.
Yeah, that's not going to cut the mustard, unfortunate. Oh wait, no, he's frightened. It does. Beats it on that goblin now. So you are actually going to roll the damage.
Put him down.
3 points of damage because this is the last, the second to last round. I have the extra 1 point of damage from spell gun.
Okay, good to know. All right. So with that, it's going to bring us to Tama.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep on slashing away at this goblin right in front of me. So here's my scimitar.
Now, I could make a single suggestion. If you were to use a tumble through action to go 5 feet behind him, I would give you panache as a swashbuckler. So that means you just got to make an acrobatics check. And for tumble through, I believe, tumble through is an acrobatics check against their reflex DC. His reflex DC is, his reflex DC is okay. You could try that.
I'm pretty good at acrobatics, so yeah, I'll try that.
Yeah, give it a shot.
Live your truth.
Oh fuck yeah, it works. So you kind of do like a flip behind him off of these. Actually, I'll let you describe it. How do you come off the sandbags to end up behind him?
Oh, yeah, I kind of do like a run up the wall and then like propel myself off like a swimmer when they reach the end of the pool and they're turning real quick. That sort of style, and like land on all fours and then quickly spring back up.
Okay, and I'm going to give you a flanking bonus as well from this. So you're really kind of like stacking things up on this. So a flanking bonus means that you get a -2. They get a -2 penalty to their AC. So they're easier to hit when you've got them sandwiched between you. And so let's give. You're going to use a strike, I imagine, right?
Yes.
All right, so you can use a precise strike because you have panache, and you have a agile or finesse weapon equipped, I believe, here with this.
Yes. Okay.
Put him
so
down,
precise
Carl.
strike has. Oh, it's additional damage if I hit.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So I roll. Ooh, that's only 11.
That's still not going to be enough.
But it looked cool.
But you can roll again. You have one more action.
Oh, that's true. I will do that then.
You'll have to take it with the map, but there's still a chance that it could work.
Uh, 15.
Beats it in this case, thanks to the
Yeah.
flanking. So even with the map, that is going to work. So roll the damage on that, and because you are using a precise strike. Oh wait,
Here, there's a toggle. I'm
Yeah, hold
rolling
on,
it with
wait.
the precise strike.
yeah,
Woo!
12.
12 points of damage. Heck yeah! All right,
Oh,
so
I think that's the most damage we've done other than to ourselves.
that is.
All fight.
And Tom like graceful backflip and then just like a sweep, like down single sweep and just across the back of this commando, just absolutely doing tons of heckin' damage. And with that, we are going to go to the top of the order, which means that the environment is going to go. Now, while this has been happening, this is not happening in a vacuum. On the western side, like the Conclave soldiers are fighting them, fending them off. This, your allies are around you in the melee. The trenches, just fighting off this wave of hobgoblins that have managed to make it to the trenches and created a breach, thanks to the fact that the Silver Hand had gone down. The Magitech emplacement has fired again, sinking one, but 2 more assault craft have landed on the shores. And they have begun to disgorge their hobgoblins as well. And actually, I should also mention that make me a perception roll, everybody. Let's end this. Let's end this on a perception roll here.
Okay.
No.
6.
16.
All right, 16,
20.
27.
Not 20. Yay.
Nat 20. All
Good
right.
one.
So let's see here. We've got Magnus and Thunder. You noticed
Johan
this.
is not paying attention. Very
You guys are
Again.
very embroiled in what you're doing, but you just hear like
Somewhere else.
this like kind of sound, and you look up and you notice that these airships, these big dwarven airships, have kind of appeared above the battlefield as well. Sorry, here I just had to get that done because there was 2 ships. These guys have landed over here, and
No.
in the middle of the beach, as this airship approaches and kind of starts to hover above, it descends closer and closer until it's about, let's just say it's about 30 feet up when you hear this like kind of of like a gas kind of noise, and then all of a sudden an enormous jet of flame appears from the front of this airship, kind of coating the battlefield, and it indiscriminately hits the hobgoblins, the orcs, and the Conclave soldiers who are, have charged out of their, the Commonwealth soldiers who have, as is tradition, charged out of their trench and have met them in no man's land, kind of immolating the melee in the center of the fight as these, like, you can hear this magnetic disengagement noise as two clockwork soldiers drop down from the deck. These big automatons with enormous shields and big energized halberds, and then behind them, two dwarves armed to the teeth, covered in their shackles that are common to them, bare chested except for these chains that kind of are wrapped around them, with pairing these huge guns and like a backpack with a kind of almost radio antenna sticking out of it. And as we have this second wave kind of disembarking, as the situation starts to get real dire indeed for our heroes, we'll catch you next time we play, which is going to be in about 2 weeks. We have a bit of an odd schedule. We will be back for sure August 9th for the next part of this session, the prologue, and we will end the Auric Ascendancy's prologue on August 9th, and we will pick the story back up there. And hopefully after this brief first session, we will kind of try to stick to a 3 weeks on, 1 week off format. Whenever this show is down, please do come around on Fridays, as we will be having our indie understudy shows run by the marvelous Lou. They are going to take us through a bunch of amazing small kind of like one-shot designed like one-page RPGs and other systems, so that we can explore a wide variety of games together. I hope that this has been an enjoyable and interesting experience for our first show. If you have any feedback, hit us up with it. I'm always all open ears. I always love to hear also what rules we got wrong. Please hit us up, and I'll try my best to include it at the beginning next session. And until next time, don't get conscripted.
No. Stay out of it.
And good night, everybody.
Good
Although,
night,
to be fair,
everybody.
some volunteers who are getting shredded.
Yep.
Oh, not fun.